What's going on is Anton from AntonDaniels.com. I appreciate you guys for continuing to rock with me. Thank you for tuning in for another edition of the Millionaire Morning Show. I'm your host, Anton Daniels. What up, what up, what up, what up, what up? What's going on, friends and family? I appreciate y'all for tuning in. It is Monday, July 13th, 2026, year of our Lord. What's happening, Vito Royale, DJ Ace Productions, Zeroyce. Who we got? Keisha. What up, Keisha? What's happening? What's going on? Will the CNA, Jesse Xavier, John Teal, Roscoe P, Mr. Walker. What's going on? ABJ's Wide, Strong, and Smooth. Size Up Queen. What up, though? Sabrina, I love you. Slant Sells Cars. What up? Trees. Phoenix. Ja Man. Yeah, Pint for Pint. Gerald Sparrow. Onaka, I see you. What up, though? K. Cooper, Loso's Way, Christopher Thomas, I appreciate you. Easy. John, what up, though? What's going on? What up to everybody in the building? If y'all made it through the weekend and we here, it's another week, another opportunity to do great things. OG Rihanna, Jarius Phillips, Real Angelo. Let me see who we got. AJ Wise, K. Cooper. K. Cooper says, AD, did you get some rest? No, I did not. I was up till 4 in the morning last night. Your car can confirm that. Quasar. Shadow Dragon TV. Show enough. What up, though? Chris Cunningham, I see you. Fi Brown, what up? I'm looking forward to seeing all of y'all. Every last one of y'all. Miami-Dade County Clerk. What up, though? Harold Burns, Dallas. What up? Tria Holly, Johnny Mack, Huncho Streams, Top Notch Rocker. What's going on, friends? I'm looking forward to seeing every last one of y'all. Every last one of y'all. Every last one of y'all. I'm looking forward to seeing y'all in DC. We got a live stream tonight on the Patreon, so that's gonna be fun. Yeah, I was up till 4 in the morning last night. I was working. We was working. We working. We up till 4 in the morning. 4 in the morning last night. No stops, no gaps, no issues. Why y'all ain't telling me that Apple was sending an update this morning, though? I'm not one to make excuses, but I thought that update was supposed to happen over the weekend, and then by the time I got here Monday, everything was supposed to be straight. I'm getting in, and I start up my computer, I power up everything, and I'm like, wait a minute. Why is this still updating? So then it takes 15 minutes, and my computer cut off, and I got to log in multiple different times. Yeah, we here though. I'm looking forward to seeing y'all on the 25th in DC. So shout out to all of the chasers. Bag chasers. We got a live stream tonight at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I'm going to update the Patreon with the link after the show. And it's going to be awesome. It is definitely going to be awesome. So looking forward. We got a full show lined up for y'all today. Lindsay Graham died in the 70s. Seattle office vacancies. Iran want to take out Trump. Nurses striking. A teen drowned in a lake down there in Texas. Flock cameras being cut down. A whole family was targeted in East St. Louis with 5 people dead and 2 people wounded. Rent prices hit a record high in Manhattan and Brooklyn. Great Lakes Crossing shooting here in Michigan, and much, much more. So we got a lot to talk about. Yeah. What up to my dog, Mr. Lot? Mr. Lot says, I had my bag chasers hat on this weekend and people knew what it was. Yo, shout out to everybody that was in the streets. Mr. Lot, you know what I realized this weekend? I realized that I'm going to have to sit down and not be as visible. In the streets. You know, I'm blessed. I'm very blessed to have people in my life that will be absolutely honest and transparent with me. I was talking to my daughter this morning and she said, Dad, what did she say to me? What did she say? She said something about my attitude. Oh, I forgot what she said. She said something like, I'm grumpy. Why am I so grumpy or something like that? What did she ask me? Hey, I'm on a live stream. I got a quick question for you. What did you say about my? What did you tell me about my attitude this morning?
I said you be grumpy sometimes.
He said I'll be grumpy sometimes.
Yes. When your attitude is that, or you be tired of something, or you be overly grumpy.
What makes you think you could tell me that?
It's just the truth. Like, honestly.
Yeah, you be saying a lot of stuff to me. Bye.
Bye.
Like she'll just break out all the time. She'd be like, "Yo, Dad, you overly grumpy." Like, she like you must. She like, what time? She check on me like she my parent. What time you go to bed last night? I said 4 in the morning. She said, "Oh yeah. You need to get more rest. Let me see your let me see your calendar. Girl, get out my face. Get out my face, man. Let me tell you something, bro. I that's the light part of it. I catch so many straight, bro. My daughter told me something not last night, last week. She be bro. I'm gonna keep it 100 with y'all. She be having me in my feelings. She be having me in my feelings. I couldn't believe it. I be, yo, my feelings be on the floor. My feelings be on the floor. She be saying stuff to me. She told me some stuff the other week. I hung up on her. Bam. I just hit the button. She called me back and said, "Why you hang up on me?" I said, I'm not about to be having nobody talk to me like that ever. And so she was like, oh, I didn't say nothing crazy. I just was telling you the truth. Yo, sheesh. I ain't even gonna cap. I was in the bed curled up like I had just went through a breakup. I was like, is that true about me? Can't be. Not me. It's like, yeah, Anton, that is true. Yo, I ain't gonna cap. I took a nap. I straight up took a nap. I was in my feelings for about 3 days. I ain't even talked to nobody. I'm telling you, I was in my feelings for about 3 days. Cut everybody off. Nobody got access to me. I don't want to talk to nobody. I'm done. I'm done with everybody after that. Then she came back and she was like, I could have worded it differently. I'm sorry for the way I said it. Oh man, life is a box of chocolates. It is a roller coaster. Missed a lot. Thank you. I appreciate you, big dog. Thank you for holding me down. Um, it's wild, man. It's wild in these streets. I will say this before we get into the show. What I've decided to do is create a beautiful prison for myself. And when I say a beautiful prison for myself, I studied. Somebody asked me this weekend and they asked, hold on, let me see something. Why is my sound effects only coming through one speaker? Something is wrong here. See what I'm saying? It's always something. Always something. We gonna get there. We gonna get there. Yeah, she did get me all the way together, Carmen. I didn't like that. I wasn't feeling good about it. But I don't know. I created a beautiful prison for myself. And let me tell y'all what that is. Somebody asked me this weekend. I ran into a lot of people. Shout out to the people that was up here from Cleveland for the family reunion. I'm glad you enjoyed the city. It's a beautiful city. We have a great time. Number one, Detroit is the type of city, and a lot of people are just now discovering this. Detroit is the type of city that will get you in trouble because it is so much to do. It is so much to get into. It is so much access. It's always a party. It's always an after party. It's always an after party. And it's almost like a non-sleeping city. It is 1,000 things to get into. On Mondays and Tuesdays in Detroit, well, actually, let me be honest with you. On Mondays in Detroit is really the only recovery day. It's the only day during the week where you can try to sit yourself down and just kind of be like, all right, let me get everything together. Let me figure it out, right? So one of the questions that somebody asked me this week was, how do I stay focused? How do I stay dedicated? How do I keep that edge about me, even if I have a level of success? And it's two ways that I do it. The first way that I do it is I find a reason to feel like I'm behind the eight ball. I went out, and I'm not going to say specifically what was going on because I was everywhere this weekend. But I looked out to this weekend, and I was like, and again, I was talking to my daughter, and I said, yo, I'm about to just disappear and lock in for like a year on some other type of stuff because I feel like I should be further along than I really am. So I look for reasons, or I look for an opportunity, and I don't do this purposely. It's just inherently within me. I look for a reason to feel like I'm not where I'm supposed to be, or somebody feel like they better than me, or somebody feel like because then I make you my target. Unknowingly, there's a lot of people that don't even realize that they're my targets. But that's the first thing. The second way that I'm able to stay super focused and I'm able to push through, I'm able to grind, and I'm able to act like I ain't never had nothing is because I create this beautiful prison for myself. Back in the day, I ain't even going to say back in the day. I'm going to say in the late 90s and the 2000s, even 2010s, I studied Facebook, I studied Google, I studied Silicon Valley. And I got recruited to go and work out in Silicon Valley, and I had an opportunity to tour some of their facilities. And what I realized, and I didn't even know it at the time, but what I realized is that most companies at the time in Silicon Valley had created what we call a beautiful prison. We say golden handcuffs a lot of times when it comes to the pay, but they created a beautiful prison. And if you went out and visited Silicon Valley in the 2000s, the 2010s and stuff like that, back when Facebook was blowing up, back after the dot-com bubble burst and all of that stuff, and you had an opportunity to see these facilities, one of the ways that software engineers and people that work for these big tech companies were able to exist was that they didn't have a house. They didn't have any place to stay. Not because they couldn't afford it, not because they couldn't go and rent someplace, but because they voluntarily went homeless. And a whole lot of men, women, van life blew up, right? Van life was always a thing out on the West Coast because of the weather and homelessness. But then there was a segment of people, there was a large wave of people that wind up going voluntarily homeless. And the reason that they went voluntarily homeless is because they wanted to buy a house out in Silicon Valley. They wanted to buy a house out there in California, but they didn't want to rent. They didn't want to spend any money. How Facebook and Google and all of these places saw for that was they created this environment where every single thing that you needed to be successful, but to keep you locked in, was at the facility. So at Facebook headquarters, have y'all ever seen any of those old videos? They don't do them anymore. People are smartened up. They don't want to get fired for showing what happens at their job. But I don't know if y'all remember, but there used to be these videos of people were saying, hey, spend a day with me going on campus, and let me show you what it is it's like to work at Microsoft, or what it's like to work at Facebook, or what it's like. And then you go in and they feed you breakfast, lunch, dinner. They give you workout facilities. They did your dry cleaning. They had fun stuff to do, basketball on campus. You can take showers. And it was just like, it was an oasis. It was like It's the thing that made me want to get into being a software engineer. I looked at the lifestyle that it took to exist over in Silicon Valley and all of the amenities, every single thing. You got your clothes clean, you ate good, and it was a way for them to what the workers was like, man, listen, this is the greatest thing ever. What a lot of other companies tried to do, including at the University of Michigan, when I was working at the University of Michigan, they created open workspaces, hotel rooms. And when I say hotel rooms, that means that you can like schedule, hey, I'm locking out this room in particular, and I'm just going to work here all day. And so Quicken Loans downtown Detroit is exactly like that. They created the exact same environment. You are correct. United Warehouse Mortgage by Matt Ishba, the guy that owned the Phoenix Suns. They created an environment like that. And so they created these environments that were like beautiful prisons. And so what it did is it allowed for employees to want to come in, even if they were working from home, even if they had a hybrid work from home type of situation, it allowed for them to be able to come in and you can lock in, and you basically spent almost your entire day at the facility. You didn't want to leave. Even after work, you didn't want to leave. And it created a more robust environment for people to want to work. People got promoted. They made a lot of money. They made a lot of progress when it comes to the different projects that they was working on. And so this was prior to COVID, but Ford got them too. So all of the different companies started mimicking the tech companies and creating these environments that allowed for people to be able to come in. So what the Silicon Valley workers would do is that they wouldn't buy a house because they would never spend no time there, or they wouldn't rent a place. And so they just stacked every single dime. They didn't care about work-life balance. They didn't care about social life as far as trying to convince women, hey, look, you can come to my place. They didn't care. The only thing they cared about was working, stacking, and sleeping, live, work, and play. They practically live, work, and played all in the same place. And a lot of them, I remember some of them, they sold their cars and they bought old U-Haul vans. They sold their cars and they would buy U-Hauls. And van life took on a completely different meaning out in Silicon Valley because most people were running up a bag and they eliminated their entire housing costs. They eliminated it altogether. They would put a bed right in the back of the van or the back of the truck. They had napping pods. That's correct. They did have napping pods. So I always said that if I ever got a little bit of money or a little bit of resources, that would be the thing that I leaned into to ensure that I could truly lock in and get everything done. And what the reason that I'm telling y'all this story is because that is what every single environment that I curate for myself is. Whether it's out in the suburbs or whether it's here in the studio or whether it's the apartment downtown, it's a beautiful prison. And what it allows for me to do is to tune out everything and everybody. And the only thing I want to do is work. The only thing I want to do is create. When you create the environment, some of y'all are not successful because you are existing in a space where people that are around you are limiting your ability to be great. Some of y'all have and then it's not due to any fault of their own, but it's just the truth. Some of y'all are in a space where you struggling between two worlds. On one end, you're trying to live a regular life. You want to have a traditional life. You want to have a traditional family, traditional girlfriend, traditional relationship, all of this stuff. And so you have to spend time doing the same things that everybody else is doing, which is curating a relationship and making sure you're curating your friends and going out and all of this other type of stuff. And I'm telling you, and I know this is not a traditional message, but I'm telling you that this is the thing that's keeping you from being successful. It's not that you don't have the skill set. It's not that you don't have the wherewithal. It's not that you're not smart enough. It's not that you don't have the same 24 hours as everybody else. It's just that you don't manage your time the same way that everybody else manages their time. And so I'm not going to tell you, hey, listen, you need to get rid of your girl. But what I am telling you is that if you compare the time that you put into your craft or the thing that you're doing versus the thing that somebody else is doing, you're not going to get the same results. That's just, it's math. It's math. If this guy, because everything is a competition, especially amongst men, we understand this. If this guy is spending 16, 17 hours a day, right? Let's say he's spending 15, 16 hours a day, eat, sleep, craft. The time he wake up and then he maybe go out for, drive of fresh air. He may hit the gym and eat, and then he sleep and he wake up and he back at it again. If he's doing that on a regular basis, what makes you think, and I'm keeping it 100 with you, what makes you think that you're going to be able to compete against him in whatever respective field it is? I don't care if you're talking about being an athlete. I don't care if you're talking about as a content creator. I don't care if you're talking about creating a business. I don't care what it is. The difference between people that are great and the people that are average is that at somewhere along that line, even for people, and you say, well, this person don't do this. Well, check his background, check his history. He did it before. Somewhere along the line, he put himself in a position to where he was doing more than everybody else. But by the time that you seen him, all you seen was the results. All you seen was the execution. And so a lot of times people will think to themselves, well, why are they so much better than me? I don't understand. It must be the system. No, it's the system that they created for themselves to separate themselves from the rest of everybody else. I'm the type of person, for example, I went out to a car meet yesterday. Shout out to everybody that's seen out in the canteen in Dearborn. Lots of people, met a lot of people. Car show, Buffex, everybody else. Shout out to y'all, right? I'm the type of person, I'm going to hit the streets, right? I'm going to hit the streets. I'm going to hit the after hours. I'm going to hit the park. You're going to see me or whatever. But when I get home, right, I might get home on the weekend, let's say, for example, I might get home at 2 o'clock in the morning, 2:30 in the morning, right? From 2:30 till about 9 a.m., I'm locked in. I'm sobered up. I'm chilling. I go and jump in the shower so that I'm refreshed, right? Wash my hands. I'm in the studio from 2 to 9 on the weekend. Then I might sleep for like 3 or 4 hours. Then I'm going to get back up and I'm going to work for another 8. And then I'm going to hit the streets. And then I'm going to go and I'm going to come back to the crib. And then I'm going to lock in again. Sometimes, even right now, I got the type of edge about me to where I'm going to just go and lay down for a second. Let me lay down for about 2 or 3 hours. And I'm back at it. The difference between, shout out to Sam. Yeah, shout out to Sam. Oh, you know Sam? Walk. Yeah. The difference between those that win and those that lose is the environment that you curate that allows for you to be successful. That's it. Some of y'all want to have a girlfriend. I'm going to tell you. Forget women. I don't care if you got a wife. Oh, Anton is really breaking hearts right now. I don't care if you have a wife. I don't care if you're in a great relationship. You have to forget her. And I'm not saying diss her, dog her, or anything like that. I'm saying that she cannot be the primary focus of what you got going on as a man. I am telling you that you are doing both you and her a favor. I'm not saying break up with her. I'm saying that you're going to be doing, and some of y'all need to understand when you go into a relationship, stop creating false expectations that you're going to be a good man to her. Am I treading too far into my upcoming Friday nights? Stop creating expectations that you are going to be a good man to her. No, I'm not saying cheat. No, I'm not saying go out here and get a bunch of hoes. What I'm saying is you don't have, if you want to be rich, you don't have the capacity to be a traditionally good blue collar middle class man. Y'all come into these relationships giving these women expectations that y'all gonna be sitting there whining and dining them every day. Bro, I am telling you that you don't have the capacity, bro. You don't have the capacity. You don't have the capacity. You have to have, you listen to what I'm saying. You need to have a very, and you might have to communicate. And even if you communicate, she's not gonna get it. She's not gonna understand. She's not gonna be able to comprehend why you can't spend the type of time with her that they do on TV or that they do on the internet or that their homegirl is. Let me tell you something. That guy, that her homegirl's man, boyfriend, husband, that spends so much time that her homegirl keep lying to her, acting like they got a great relationship, he miserable. You know why he miserable? Because his money ain't right. He ain't miserable because of the woman that he with. He miserable because he can't really do what he want to do when he want to do it. And true freedom from a man has nothing to do with a woman. True freedom from a man means that you can go out and do what you want to do when you want to do it. You can buy what you want, even if you're disciplined enough to say, you know what, I'm not interested in buying it right now. You can travel where you want, even if you're disciplined enough to say, you know what, I'm not interested in traveling. I'm ready to lock in. You can send your kids to college. You can pay for what you want to pay for. True freedom has nothing to do with the person that you land next to or the family that you create. True freedom is to be able to do what you want to do when you want to do it. You cannot get there by sitting up under a woman, by sitting there and playing, I'm going to work 8 hours a day and I'm going to sit here up under y'all acting like I like y'all, but you ain't got the money to do what y'all really want to do. So what you're going to have to do is become a ghost. You are a ghost, and you are going to have to cut it off so that you can focus. And I'm not saying cut her off. I'm saying that if she gonna want to spend time with you, then she gonna have to come and visit you and then go home. Or she can visit you and spend a night, but I got stuff to do. Right? Or listen, maybe I only need to see you. Now I'm gonna really blow your mind on this one. I'm gonna have to, baby. I'm gonna see you on Sundays, Sunday through Tuesday. Wednesday through Saturday, you can come and visit me, but I'm locked in. This is what I'm gonna do. You have to create the expectation. Yeah, I'm gonna come and spend a night with you on Wednesday and Thursday, Wednesday and Saturday. Marcus says, and then she cheats on you. Nigga, what you thought that she wasn't gonna, if she gonna cheat, what you think that regular everyday 8-hour guys don't get cheated on? Listen, if she gonna cheat, she gonna cheat. You're not slowing her down. What are you talking about? And then she cheat on you. That's why you need a father in your life. That's why you need men in your life. So what? You think it's a shortage of women out there? Ooh, and then she cheat on you. Okay. So I get to pick between the next 4.5 billion women that's out there. I don't care. She cheated on herself. She cheated her way out of her position. And I don't care if you cheat. That's a you problem. That's not a me problem. You just played yourself out of your position. Stop worrying about what women do and start focusing on what men do. What you sitting there focusing on it, you chasing her around, you checking her location, trying to find out, she gonna do what she gonna do. When I catch you, okay, now you played yourself out of your position. I'm not emotional about it. I'm not even hurt about it because my emotions is tied up in the business that I'm creating. The only thing that could hurt me, right? This is how you should be thinking. The only thing that can hurt me is if somebody take my money away. I can always get another chick. I can create another kid if I want to. I'm not tripping off of that. I got a finite amount of time and I got a window of opportunity to really capitalize off of being great. I'm not tripping off of you. Would you think that bus will stop running just because you didn't catch this one? And that's what y'all got to deprogram yourself to stop focusing on, oh man, well, what if she cheat? Well, what if she cheat and you still broke? What if she cheat and you didn't focus on yourself? Now you want to lock in all of a sudden, huh? Guess what? Be locked in before you find yourself. Life is going to life. Life is going to happen regardless. But guess what? Life happens to you. Life happens to him. Life happens to me. Life happens to her. But the thing that you want to have happen and when life is happening is you want to be able to have the life that you've created to curate to fall on when life is happening. Cool. You know what? Man, that was rough. But look at this life that I created for myself. Care nothing about whether or not she cheat. That's not my focus. That's between her and God. Ain't got nothing to do with me. She got a choice to make. What do I care? It's okay, so she played herself out of her position. Next man up. Next woman up. Next people up. Ladies, next man up. Fellas, next woman up. Just care nothing about what you doing. I'm so locked in. I'm so focused on what I got going on. Listen, you want to know what's going to really happen? Once you really, really lock in, you know what they're going to do? Actually, you know what happens? They adore you more. They adore you more. Y'all too available. Y'all make y'all sitting up under a chick all day. You can give her some time to miss you. Go and build some stuff. Go and run up a bag. Don't you know that guys used to be gone, left for work. They wouldn't even get home to the weekends. They would fly off, go and take care of business, or they would go off and build some stuff, and then they would see their family on the weekend. We got to get back to traditional ways in which men operated. Men got to be men. Y'all so focused on how you feeling and being in your emotions. You know what used to be the wave? Oh man, I'm pissed off, so I'm about to work my butt off. Y'all sitting there worried about what a woman think, man. I don't care. I genuinely, bro, my attitude be so bad when I'm locked in anyway, so it don't even matter. I'm not tripping. I don't care. And I be telling people straight up, hey, listen, I'm not even the person that you want to talk to right now. And they be like, oh my God, I love that for myself. I really want to be around you even more. I tell people all the time, hey, I'm self-isolated. I'm not the person you want to talk to or be around anymore. Don't apologize. I don't want to talk to nobody right now. Good luck. God bless you. You don't be believing me, do you? Here, I'll show you. I ain't going to show you the whole conversation. You don't believe it? I'll show you. I don't be caring, bro. I genuinely don't care. I can't show y'all that. I can't show y'all that. All I'm telling you is, because I don't need all of that type of heat. All I'm telling you is stop. If you want to be great, you're going to have to separate yourself from the pack. And the only way for you to do that is to self isolate in ways that allow for you to be productive. If you can't accomplish anything more than you accomplished last week because you're so focused on what everybody else is doing, then that's going to be a problem for you, and you're going to lose. You're going to lose. You're never going to be anything more than anybody else because you're so focused on what everybody else got going on. You're trying to fit in instead of standing out. Live stream tonight on Patreon, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Make sure you tap into the Patreon. Link is in the description as well as pinned to the top of the chat. Let me read some of these super chats and then we're going to get into the show. It's going to be a hell of a show today. It's going to be a hell of a show this week. What if she cheat? I don't know. Then she cheated. Did me a favor. Good. I'm good now. John, Mike, that dude. What up to the bag chasers? Mike, that dude in the building. What up, Mike, that dude? John Teal says collection plate offering. Shout out to John Teal. What if she cheat? Did she cheat? What you talking about? Shout out to Miss Salada in the streets with the bag chaser hats. Appreciate you. Top Notch Rockers says, AD, did you get a chance to check out my email? I did. I look. Come on, man. I read all of my emails. Return on investment says, morning, AD, rest in peace to Sam McNeil. Mr. Jurassic Park passed away. Man, blessings up to his family. Fa Brown in the building says SpaceX. SpaceX is now down to under $140 a share. Hashtag listen to AD. We got a live stream tonight. Don't worry about it. I could go off on y'all on the live stream on the Patreon. Miss Sanchez said, I'm ready to tell my story. Miss Sanchez, why you acting like that? Nobody is. Listen, y'all don't let Miss Sanchez trick y'all into thinking that I'm mean. That's not true. Miss Sanchez ain't used to nobody talking the way that I talk. She probably busy, sitting here typing. I'm on the live stream. Why you saying I'm mean?
Because you know you mean. I don't even want to get into it. Talking to me like that yesterday. I don't know what your problem was. You was outside a little bit too much. The streets got to you.
I'm not mean. I don't know why you be saying that. I'm the nicest person ever.
No, you are sweet, but you checked me a little bit yesterday. I don't appreciate that.
I love you. I'm going to call you after the show.
I love you too. Okay.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
I love the girls. I love the ladies. I don't know what y'all. I don't know what she's talking about. I don't know what she's talking about. I don't know what that. I don't know what that means. Anton from Anton. I'm the nicest person that you can ever get into, ever. Sometimes you just gotta rein them in. You know what I'm saying? You gotta rein them in. You gotta make sure that they love you. If you don't make sure that they love you, then yeah, Miss Sanchez is stacked. She do got a nice. Let me be quiet. Jay, keep it real says, good morning, AD and the fellow bag chasers. Win Stock Club this afternoon. Actually, this evening. 9 p.m. Eastern tonight. this evening. Patrick Fobbs in the building. Says, what up, AD turned 32? Yeah. Yeah. And I'm going all in. Looked at 2 cars today and started a Toro business. Run it up. Run it up. Run it up. Jaquel says, good morning and glory be to God. Hallelujah. Amen. What up, B Hunter? Thank you for the super sticker. I appreciate you. Marty Slice in the building says, going to be a heck of a week. Let's get to it. Yeah, it's up. It's up. If she cheats, you nothing to her. If she cheats, you nothing to her. Okay. I'm okay with that too. Listen. Y'all have to, and I don't want to get into Friday night conversations. Y'all have to understand that the more you care about what a woman thinks about you, the more control she has over you. It's not about whether she cheat or she don't cheat. It's really about whether I care about what you doing when I'm not there. I'm focused on building me. I can't focus on whether or not I'm not chasing you. You got a decision to make. You got a decision to make. Everybody got a decision to make. Do what you want to do. I don't care. I have no care in the world. I say this all the time. Fi Brown know it. Your car know it. Everybody that's on my team know it. Everybody that's around me know it. The bag chasers know it. Life is 10% of what happens to you, 90% of how you react to it. My job is not to stop you from doing what you're doing. My job is to control the narrative of how I react to it. That's it. I don't get into all of that extra stuff. I'm not sitting here trying to help you to understand why you, no. You got a decision to make. And the rest of it is up to me of how I'm going to react to it. You have the freedom to do what you want to do in this country. And the only thing that I have to do is make sure that I react appropriately. That's best for me. All right. Let me answer this question. I think that this is a great way to start off the show. Let's get to it, y'all.
Can someone explain to me why there are still people who say thank you for your service to veterans? Like, to me, it seems so 2000s, 2010s to me. Like, I did not realize there were people who were still so invested in thanking the troops in, like, 2026. I mean, we don't do it for any other profession, and many professions are very important for our daily lives. Our teachers, our nurses, people who work at daycare centers, all these are people who have a direct impact on my life or the lives of the people around me in a positive way. But I wonder what people are thanking veterans for specifically, and it seems to suggest that people think of veterans as somehow above these other professions. The other day I heard someone say thank you for your service, and they had so much love in their voice. Truly, like, it was not just a quick thing. They really wanted to make a point of saying thank you for your service. Like, this person obviously really, really meant it. Like, I wonder, is it a cultural thing where people see themselves as being part of military culture, so they want to show people who are veterans that, oh, I'm one of you, like, I'm in your in-group? Like, it just feels like there are some Americans who have their identity so wrapped up with the military. And I'm always really interested in situations where people don't have an obvious logical reason to like something or support something, but they are super, super invested in it anyway. They're super passionate about it because it reflects there is something going on beneath the surface, but it doesn't really have to do with the facts of the situation. It has something to do with their sense of identity, their emotions, their sense of community. So I just wanted to get your takes on why people are doing this and why they care so much about it.
I see y'all and y'all emotions in the chat right now. Yeah. Oh, yeah. The people in the chat is upset at this, right? Honestly, when y'all sent this to me and I seen it in my email, I couldn't believe what I was hearing. I couldn't believe what I was hearing. I said, wait a minute. Have we become so liberal? Have we become so disconnected to where we now have a generation of people that are sitting here saying thank you for your service to veterans and military members, Army, Air Force, Navy, so on and so forth, that we have now started to question why we say thank you for your service to our veterans and our military, and we're comparing them to teachers. We're comparing them to retail workers. So the first thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to take a information-based approach to give my opinion as to why we say thank you for your service, because I'm going to assume that you just don't know any better and maybe we just missed out. We have completely failed as a culture and as a society to continue to pass on the lessons. And I don't know if y'all don't have history class anymore. I don't know if our colleges and our high schools have become so indoctrinated to where they've completely removed the opportunity to learn more about how this country came to be and the amount of people that put their lives on the line for our freedoms. But let me say this. I was talking to five different police officers. 4 of them was riding in one car, and then another one was actually a police officer for Wayne State, right? So you got the Detroit police and then you got Wayne State police. One of them was taking a picture with the car. And so I was telling them, and when I walk up to them, I say, hey, man, y'all are super underappreciated. Man, I love y'all, bro, man. Thank y'all for holding it down, man. I can't believe that people always are villainizing the uniform. Y'all doing what y'all got to do to keep us safe. And so I just want to let y'all know I appreciate y'all, right? So they always show me love. The Detroit police, they never pull me over. They never give me a problem. They always showing me love because they know that I love them. But more importantly, when I walk up to somebody and I realize it doesn't matter if you're in uniform or whether I know you're a veteran, if I see you with the hat on or whatever, I don't care if you were only in the service for a year, 2 years, whatever. I always say thank you for your service. And I thought that this was supposed to be like this didn't have any political identity attached to it. Regardless of whether you're a Democrat, regardless of whether you're a Republican, Independent, Green Party, Libertarian, I don't care what you are. I thought that we always said thank you for your service for the military members, regardless of whether you agree with the president, regardless of whether you agree with Congress. I thought that it was standard across the board. Democrats do it, Kamala Harris do it, Barack Obama do it, Trump did it, whatever. I thought it was standard across the board, and that we remove the politics out of the people that put their lives on the line every single day. Key word, lives. They're willing to die for our freedoms. This is why it doesn't matter what benefits they get. It doesn't matter if they get paid. It don't matter if their college is free. Don't matter if they don't have to pay property taxes. We embrace those benefits for our military and service members because they are willing, regardless of whether they actually get called up or not, they are willing to die for us to be able to have the freedoms to protect our republic that is governed by the Constitution, to uphold the very system that has driven so many people and families out of poverty. The reason that we say thank you for your service is because they put their lives on the line for us to be able to live this beautiful life. So when you walk down the street every day, right? Because a lot of y'all don't even know the threats that they have to deal with on a regular basis that never come to light. There's people that die every single day that is a part of our service that we never get to see, but they signed up for that. And they put their lives on the line and they'll sacrifice themselves to ensure that war never hits our doorstep, that our petrodollar is protected, that something like Pearl Harbor never happens again, right? Thank you for your service is it don't even cost you anything. It doesn't cost you anything. It's people that have done multiple different stands in different countries. They're away from their families. Some of them live on boats and live on vessels and in submarines for months at a time. Right? They don't question it. They don't sit here and say, oh man, I don't want to go to war. They gird up and they get up out there and they follow the orders as necessary in order to protect our freedom. The only reason, what people don't really understand, and I don't know why I become so much more passionate about this in my older age. The only reason that we exist on this planet, let's be clear. The only reason that we are not a third world country, the only reason that we are not a communist country, the only reason that we are not taken over by another country and all of our resources removed for somebody else's benefit is because of our military. It's the only reason. It's the biggest investment that we have to protect our capitalistic, social democracy, however you want to frame it. It is the only reason that we have the freedoms that we have. And some people don't want to be honest about the fact that there's people that do things that we would never do, or there's people that do things that we don't want to know about. We just want to believe that the world is just kumbaya and everybody means as well. No, they don't. It's people that want to blow this country up every day. It's people that want to take your people and they would take, you know what happened to all of the women over there in Ukraine? Because I actually studied it. You know what happened to the families over there? Do you know that in the beginning of the war between Russia and Ukraine, when Russia invaded Ukraine, they got a bunch of babies. All of those soldiers was getting those women, the women and children. They didn't care if there was wives. They didn't care if there was underage. They didn't care if there was. It don't matter. If you had box, the way that they paid themselves back is that they actually impregnated them girls. They was having their way with people's families. They would kill the guys, and they would, in today's time, today, 2022, 23, 24, during the pandemic, whatever, they was over there getting them chicks pregnant. And there's a lot of Russian babies that's being had in Ukraine because when they would take over those towns, they would rape the women, they would rape the kids, and then they would leave them for whatever it is. They didn't care about what happened to them afterwards. I'm keeping it 100 with you. The only reason why we have the freedoms that we have, and again, this isn't something that I think should be a Democrat or a Republican. It doesn't matter. I don't care what side of the fence that you on. But the fact that people are saying and questioning and saying we shouldn't be, man, I seen multiple different videos that people sent me of people saying, why are we saying thank you for your service to military members? And then they compare them to a teacher. Do you know, have you talked to a veteran? Have you talked to a veteran? Like, have you talked to somebody that's experienced war before, that's been shot at? Bro, they can't function the same way that we function because they can't unsee what they saw. They protect us from ourselves. They protect our sanity. But we've lost the plot. This video that was sent to me this weekend helped me to realize that we have completely lost the plot. And this is why history is so important. Because if you don't teach it, if you don't have a conversation, if you're not familiar with it, a lot of times what will happen is that people will forget and they'll completely, and then next thing you know, they'll be sitting there having a conversation saying, why do we say thank you for your service to our military members? There is a generation of kids out there and people. This Asian woman who possibly isn't even from this country, there's a generation of people out there that'll sit there and question and say, why do we say thank you for your service to our military members? Blew my mind. Couldn't even believe that this type of thing was happening. Can't fathom the idea that somebody is actually sitting there saying, why do we say thank you for your service to vets? Listen to what she's saying. Let me play it again.
Can someone explain to me why there are still people who say thank you for your service to veterans? Like, to me, it seems so 2000s, 2010s to me. Like, I did not realize there were people who were still so invested in thanking the troops in like 2026. I mean, we don't do it for any other profession, and many professions are very important for our daily lives. Our teachers, our nurses, people who work at daycare centers.
Our teachers, our nurses, people that work at daycare centers. Are y'all listening to what I'm saying? People that work at daycare centers. She putting the Leering Center on the same level as our military. She's putting the Leering Center on the same level as our military. Did we completely fail? Just asking a question. Did we completely fail? And do y'all think that it's a generation of people, keeping it 100 with y'all, do y'all think that it is a generation of people that have completely lost the plot, have completely failed, that we have completely failed, and that they just lost? I don't know, man. I don't know, bro. I think that I never thought in my lifetime that we get to the point to where we're having a conversation about people saying, why do we tell our vets and our military members, thank you for your service? And why can't you show appreciation to people in different professions? And why does that limit? And that's another thing that I hate. I hate when people try to conflate and try to make it seem like, well, you don't do, well, then maybe you should. If you feel like they add value to your life, then go and thank a local teacher. Don't mean that they're not valuable, but at the same time, don't ever compare nor remove the value that our military members and our service members have for our lives. I'm not going to criticize her looks. I'm not going to automatically assume she's not a U.S. citizen. I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to automatically assume that she's not a U.S. citizen. I'm just going to say, I don't know. I don't know. I don't get it. And it doesn't mean that the system is perfect. It doesn't mean that everything is exactly how we want it to be, but it's better than it would be. And what people don't realize is, as much as they hate the US, as much as they talk, we have the greatest country in the world. There is no country that has lifted more people out of poverty. There is no country that has created more systems, infrastructure, opportunity for people to be able to do the things that they really want to do. There is no country, and I don't care what you say, even y'all that travel to other countries and y'all use y'all passports, and I think that that's cute. That's cute for you. I love that for you. You're doing it on American dollars. You're doing it with American dollars. You're doing it as a result of the infrastructure that we've created that allow for you to be able to travel the way that you travel. There is nowhere in the world that is better than America. Nowhere. And the fact that we have people, that sit here and say, why do we thank them, is insane to me. I want to play the rest of this video real quick.
All these are people who have a direct impact on my life or the lives of the people around me in a positive way. But I wonder what people are thanking veterans for specifically, and it seems to suggest that people think of veterans as somehow above these other professions. The other day I heard someone say thank you for your service, and they had so much love in their voice. Truly, like, it was not just a quick thing.
I can't do it, bro. I can't do it. Again, make sure you guys hit a like for the algorithm, subscribe to the channel, and turn on your notifications. Why do we say thank you for our service? I had to start the show off with that. All right, y'all. I think we want to start off with Lindsay Graham. Before we get into Lindsay Graham, let me go ahead and read some of these super chats. Again, let me just say this. I want to set the precedence very early in the week for those of you that may be new here or you may be restreaming this. We do not ask for super chats. All right? We do not ask for it. You've never heard me, not one time did you hear me say, hey, make sure y'all send super chats or cash apps. It is appreciated. I am thankful. I don't care how much it is. If it's $1, some people send 500. Shout out to sister. Some people send whatever you send, it is appreciated because no matter who I am or where I am always going to show love to the people that hold me down. All right. Also, if you are not a part of the Patreon and the Bag Chasers, you should become one because we have a live stream tonight at 9 p.m. Eastern. Okay. We got a live stream tonight that we running up, and so it's going to be very, very fun. Stock club, money, we talking that bag, and even if you're not a veteran, even if you haven't watched the previous live streams, I do suggest you watch it. I do have it in a nice, pretty collection inside of the Patreon. Even if you have not watched those, it's No Man Left Behind. I break it down like a C student, so you should be fine. You should have a basic understanding at the very least. And you should be ahead of the rest of the population after the live stream. All right, so make sure you tap in. Bad Habit says, would you rather hold her hand or 50 bands? Facts. Give me the 50. 50, please. Manny Plays PC says, notice all the professions she named are female dominated. Feminists are out of control right now. Jason Johnson says, can you show the 4th of July shooting in Compton that took 2 innocent lives? Those apartments are called Wilmington Arms, run by the Park Village Crips. We got a lot to go over today. I promise you we're going to get there. Chris Cunningham says, Suyun don't understand American culture. They need to. Shout out to Chauncey. Chauncey in the building. I appreciate you for the 10 ball. Thank you, Chauncey. Yeah. JP Luis says, yes, AD, they did a poll and over 50% Dems hate the USA. That's crazy. Why don't they just leave? What up, Lex? Lex in the building says, because I gave my mind and body to a country that get on the internet and say stuff like this, I literally just got my 100%. F her and people who think like her. It's a thankless job. No, it's not thankless because there's so many more of us that actually appreciate you, Lex. Thank you for your service, baby. Ren 1010 says, greetings, Anton. Just visited the Gold Coast, Australia, near Brisbane, bro. That city is all you. It was lit with the capital L the entire weekend. It's a must visit. Definitely add that to your bucket list. You said Gold Coast, Australia, near Brisbane? All right, that's it. That's what's up. Hey, Chasers. I got plans. So we've been working on some stuff. And one of the things that we've been working on is whenever I plan on going to another country that is not related to like, you know, my daughter or something like that, I'm gonna let y'all know. And the people that's in that country, if y'all want to pull up, we can turn up. You know what I'm saying? All right, near Brisbane, bet. You know, Australia, they known for big spiders and stuff. Arthur Spears says it's always the first or second generation immigrants who have an issue with American values. My family is full of vets and myself. Freedom is not free. It ain't free. It costs a lot. A lot. Mr. Joe says, I'm a truck driver and part-time teacher. I'd never compare my job to military or police. Liberals are so detached from reality. Facts. Mr. Merv says, just put the egg rolls and soy sauce in the bag, lady. Return on Investment says, I love my country and I was proud to have served every single day. Proud I served everyone in the chat, AD, and everyone in the USA. Hey, man, thank you for your service. Return on Investment. Shout out to all of the vets. Shout out to all of my military members. Shout out to everybody that served in any branch of government. Thank you for your service. You appreciate it over here. P. Shank in the building says, good morning, Anton Daniels in the Millionaire Morning Show. What up, P? What up, P? Hey, Chozart says, salute to my Detroit brethren. Shout out to Chozart in the building. I appreciate you. All right, y'all. Let's continue on with the show. I'm going to get off of this one real quick, and I'm going to test something out. I want to go over to Lindsay Graham. So, Lindsay Graham, Senator Lindsey Graham passed away from aortic dissections. Aortic dissections. I have never heard of this before, and so I didn't even want to review it until I could review it with y'all on this show. So make sure you guys hit a like for the algorithm, subscribe to the channel, and turn on your notifications. Hold on, let me pull that up. I'm sorry.
the sudden death of Senator Lindsey Graham. First responders were called to his home Saturday night.
Cardiac arrest.
A preliminary report indicates cause of death was an aortic dissection, a tear in the main artery that carries blood from the heart.
It supplies all the blood supply to the entire body and all of our vital organs. When the aorta ruptures, it can be a fatal event. We know that these types of events occur with greater frequency as people get older, but also hypertension, high cholesterol, smoking are also major risk factors.
Graham celebrated his 71st birthday last Thursday and had just returned from a trip to Ukraine.
The sooner we can have a dialogue about peace, the quicker this war is over.
Doctors say aortic dissection can happen suddenly, without warning, and is not necessarily linked to stress or exertion, but is the result of risk factors like high blood pressure and cholesterol, which weaken the aorta over time. Graham's death echoes one from his own family history. His father died of a heart attack at age 69, just over a year after Graham lost his mother, leaving him without both parents at 22. President Trump says he spoke with Graham Saturday, just before his death.
And he said, you know, I feel good, but I'm tired. He was like a member of the family to me. It's very tough, actually. People don't realize what a good politician he was. He could go in and get something approved.
Colleagues on both sides of the aisle paying their respects.
I am stunned when he would be in the right place at the right time. Man, he could get things done.
His constituents remembering the senator who represented South Carolina for more than 20 years.
Always represented the state with class, never had any kind of scandals.
In Washington, Graham was a fixture in the hallways, quick with the quip, never afraid of a tough question, and famously low tech, joking that he was a proud member of the Congressional Flip Phone Caucus. His critics often noted the contradictions in his career. A one-time Trump critic.
He's a race-baiting, xenophobic, religious bigot.
Who became one of Trump's closest allies.
He's a great guy, a great politician, actually, and a terrific person who loves the state. Senator Lindsey Graham. Thank you, Lindsey.
But those who knew him say those shifts were part of the man. A politician who believed he could only get things done for the American people if he remained in power. Graham was especially close with the late Senators John McCain and Joe Lieberman. McCain's widow posting this picture saying, Graham loved his country deeply and devoted himself to it every day.
A special primary election will be held August 11th to determine who replaces Graham on the ballot in November.
A lot of times,
with the death of Republican Senator Lindsey Graham from South Carolina. He died.
A lot of times people want you to give an opinion, or they want to say certain things about certain people, and they say, oh man, Anton, what do you want to say about him? Listen, I don't care if you're Democrat, I don't care if you're Republican. Once a person passes away, and y'all know me, I am the type of person that always, first of all, say prayers up for the family, because often at times, especially if you're a man, you are the patriarch of the family, and you are a person that the family depends on heavily. And so hopefully he had all his ducks in a row as far as making sure, especially at 70 and 71. And the question that I have for the chat, to be honest with y'all, is the first question that I have for the chat with this thing, because for me personally, I take the same approach that I take with John McCain that I take with any person that passes away. I don't speak ill of the dead. I let the dead bury the dead. And I thought that he was a good senator. I thought that he was able to get things done. I thought that he was pretty honest in his assessment and his approach, and that he reserved the right to be able to change his mind. And so he seemed like a person that was always on the front lines of trying to craft policy as well as trying to get things done in our legislature to ensure that the people are benefiting as a result of it. And so I got two different takes from this whole Senator Lindsey Graham conversation. The first take that I have is, or the first question that I have to you guys is, what constitutes a good life? Myron, go Dogs. Myron, go Dogs. Listen, that's the thing you can't do. You can't do that, because when people say stuff like this, my condolences to the family as well, but whenever you add a but, it negates everything that you said prior to it. It's an insult. It's actually, in my opinion, worse than an insult, right? it's so silly to me a lot of times when people say, well, listen, well, I hope your family is okay, but you can't say a but. Like, you could either just not say nothing at all, or you can say something nice, right? But when you do that, that's worse than just insulting the person and say, well, I didn't necessarily care for him or whatever, and so on and so forth. You can't wish well and then at the same time insult somebody during a time of grieving or during the time in which they pass away. Y'all have to understand how to communicate effectively. Conversation is an art. All right? I'm keeping it 100 with you. I'm keeping. Okay, he says, bruh, you wasting your time with me. I don't give a damn about that white devil. Well, here's the key. Myron, I'm not trying to convince you. I'm using you as an example of what not to do. Some of y'all think that I'm trying to convince you. I'm going to be honest with you. I don't give a F about you, and I don't care about what you think. I acknowledge the fact that the chat is the co-host of the show, but I'm using what you're saying to communicate to other people. Y'all think that just because y'all bring y'all up or just because I highlight you, that I'm trying to convince you of anything. I'm not. I know, especially for y'all older people that got gray beards, y'all are stuck in y'all ways and you can't teach you nothing. Straight up. The most hard-headed, hard-hearted person that you can find on this earth is an older black man with a gray beard that's not rich. Oh, and don't get offended either, because I talk about women, I talk about white people, I talk about liberals, I talk about everybody. There is no body that is more bitter in life than an older, middling, as far as their life circumstances. They've never really broke out. They've never really been successful and great at anything. There's never been anybody that is more bitter, broken, and set in their ways than an older, middle-aged to or past middle-aged black person that hasn't been successful in life. And so for whatever reason, these type of people, yeah, I'm going to use this as an opportunity to get on you. These type of people think that we need to listen to them, but they don't want to be receptive to anybody else. Let me break it down for y'all. Older, past middle-aged black men are the most, what's the word that I'm looking for? They are the hardest people to have a conversation with. They overtalk. They know everything, even though they never did nothing in their life. And you can't teach them nothing. And so it's hard to have a conversation because they think that they should be they think that they should be respected the same way that people that are successful or that great men should be respected just because they are older black men. But they ignorant. They usually I'm going to read y'all riot acts today because it's going to be a hell of a week. They're usually, let me tell you something about older black men before we get back to Lindsey Graham. Average older black men, not the younger ones, not the ones that have now started to become more educated. Average older black men, in most instances, are undereducated, can't spell correctly, can't read past a third grade level, usually have fathered multiple children with multiple women, and they need to really die off, but they haven't yet, so they become a nuisance for the rest of us, especially the boomers, especially these Generation X, anybody past millennials. In most instances, not all, but most of these guys are the devil. They demon childs. They bitter, they broken, they think that everybody's supposed to listen to them. And the guy, the older black man crackhead at the corner store is no different than the older black man that ain't never really had to do nothing. He was a part of the union. Come on, man. Come on, let's talk about it now. They are part of the union. They think that just because they had to go to work every day that we supposed to listen to them. Most of them are bad fathers. Most of them are bad fathers. And they mad that most people don't respect them or listen to them because they don't really have nothing to show for themselves. Most older black men are like bitter baby mamas. You want to know why older black women are so masculine? Part of the reason is the generation of men that they had to deal with. Horrible fathers. They act like bitter women. Right? They act like bitter women. They got high cholesterol. They never took care of themselves. They dick don't work. They didn't create these. Listen, all these pills, Blue Chews, Viagra, that's their generation. That's their generation. And so they all get on these panels together. And they're not just holding women accountable. They're incels. They're older incels. They're older incels. And so they go from stream to stream and they want to have they want you to acknowledge them. When you pull them up on the stream, you realize that they got a tooth missing, right? They haven't been to the doctor or the dentist in about 7 years. They don't know how to make a sandwich by themselves. They're a generation of men removed from actually being productive. If their wife ever died before them, they dying right after them because they don't know how to take care of themselves. But we supposed to listen to these bad knee having, oh man, my generation was better than yours. Never want to show no love, ain't never did nothing for nobody, but they always want credit. Always want credit. I can't stand most of these old school, I want to ride in the three-wheeler. You think because you can go get a Spider three-wheeler, right? Spending all of my time on a Harley, broken-hearted. I was a simp. Y'all are the ones that said, happy wife, happy life. Y'all had more opportunity than any generation before y'all, and y'all blew it. And you want us to sit here and listen to you as though we care about anything that you got to say? You down south country bumpkin, one step away from being a slave educated type of mother effers. Y'all can communicate the least amount. Appreciative, never really did anything in y'all life. Y'all are the most failed generation of men that we could ever see in our entire life. And again, we gonna treat y'all just like we treat the hoes. It ain't all of y'all, right? So if the shoe don't fit, then don't get offended. But let's be clear. Y'all are the worst ever. Y'all got bad luck. Bad luck Bob. Left y'all women. Never did what y'all was supposed to do. A generation of babies running around. Y'all were nothing. Y'all were trash. Your legacy should be forgotten. You non-voting Democrat, vote blue no matter who, trash. Had all of the union jobs, and all y'all did was sleep and fart all day. You loud snoring, don't know how to make a meal or wash yourself properly, don't even know what the wash rag is. I'm using a soap for my face and for my ass. Dudes, get the hell out of here. We don't care nothing about what y'all think. Go get you a flip phone and then go sit in the corner somewhere. Paul. Paul messed up all of the money. Messed up the family money. Half of y'all is crackheads. The women in the family is usually the ones that still pay the property taxes. The generation before y'all coddled y'all. Most of y'all was the crackheads. You want to be honest with me? Want me to be honest with you? These older generation of black men, the boomers and the Gen Xers, the older guys, those were the most crackheads. You crack babies. Y'all crackheads. Y'all were the generation that existed for a long time because we didn't have fentanyl yet, right? So y'all just walked around on heroin. You walked around on crack. Y'all were the ones that filled up all of our prisons, all of our jails. You couldn't stay out of prison. Show me a black man. Show me an old school black man that don't have a record. Show me one. All of them coming here talking about, yeah, man, I changed my life around. I'm going to get my life together. Now you want to try to remove the jobs from the older dudes, from the younger dudes that want to truck drive because y'all want to stay in the jobs as long. You know why a lot of these young people can't get jobs? Because y'all sitting there trying to hold on to them because you never did what you were supposed to do when you was younger. You didn't invest. You didn't make any smart decisions. You never went back to school. You were problematic for the company. And now you're bitter. And so you're walking around angry every day. Mad. Living too long. Taking up all of the Social Security. Taking up all of the Social Security. Got no teeth. Looking like a vampire. Got 2 teeth right here. Yeah. And want to talk. Eric D, I said, it's not everybody. It's not everybody. There were some good ones. Absolutely, it was some good ones. Whenever we had these conversations, we're not talking about all. We're talking about a general population of these broken-hearted, simp, trash. Now in their older age, they want a geriatric wife. Oh, I want a young girl. Man, don't nobody want your punk-ass pension. Don't nobody want that little stale pension. You know why all of the women went and got jobs? You want to know why all of the women went to college? You want to know why we got so much student loan debt? Because the women was sick of y'all. The women of that generation was like, you know what? And so they taught their daughters never depend on a man because y'all was weak. Weak. Anytime that a family member you had children and then they had to go and find you. Hey, I want to go find out who my father is. And then you want to act like, oh man, it was your mama's fault. No, you was a piece of trash. Nobody want that little trash Social Security check. I see y'all every day when I go to the store. Hey, young man, this is y'all with a cup in your hand. Got some change? Got some change from an old timer? That's my prayer for the day. Never make me like these bitter old black men that ruined their families and tore black women out the frame. Want to know why our culture is so broken? All of them is in prison. The generation of prisoners. They filled the prisons. They made all of our license plates. Back to Senator Lindsey Graham.
Saturday from a brief and sudden illness at age 71. According to the medical examiner's preliminary findings, Graham's cause of death was an aortic dissection, which is a tear in the body's main artery. The long-term lawmaker was a former military lawyer and retired Air Force colonel. Known as a foreign policy hawk, Graham served in Congress for more than 3 decades in both the House and in the Senate. Graham ran for president back in 2016,
right, Q, Executive
going
Suite.
head-to-head with then-candidate Donald Trump. While the pair once had a rocky relationship, they later became close allies. In fact, President Trump says he spoke to Graham hours before his death.
Somebody said these are the conversations that you have in private. We're not the only demographic in here. No. What? So wait a minute. I'm supposed to. So you want me to have a conversation? So I could hold women accountable. I could hold Asians accountable. I could hold white people. I can go off on poor white people in the Appalachian Mountains. I can go off on everybody, but you want me to have a private conversation with y'all. Like everybody don't know that y'all are the weakest generation ever. Like everybody don't know that y'all was the most fatherless generation ever. Like everybody don't know that y'all was the ones that messed up society. What are you talking about? Oh no, roast older, bitter black men in private. No, they need to be publicly called to the front of the congregation because for whatever reason, and I don't know what it is, people act like that they can't call older black men and hold them accountable. When did y'all become so cool? Tell me. Give me a second. Somebody tell me. I want a black man that is above the age of 60. All right? Let me give y'all 5 minutes. Black man above the age of 60. I just dropped the link in the chat. If a black man above the age of 60 can tell me what makes their generation great, if you can convince me, I don't want to talk to nobody except a black man above the age of 60. If you can convince me that you guys have done something great for society, that you guys are a benefit instead of a nuisance to society, I will cash app you $100 right now. Right now. Black men above the age of 60. Help me to understand where I'm off at. I dropped the link in the chat. Before I go on to the next story. What have y'all done in mass? I know it's some individuals that are cool. I know it's some individuals that got themselves together. We're not talking about y'all. Tell me what has why should we hide? Y'all had enough time. Y'all had a whole lifetime of opportunity to show us what you got. To do something great, to be transformative, to be inventors, to take care of the women, to take care of y'all daughters, all of this other stuff. Somebody above the age of an older black man, tell me. It's thousands of y'all in here right now. Tell me. What, you don't have to be on camera. I'm not going to bring you up on camera at all. It's just audio. I don't want you to embarrass yourself. I ain't trying to get you fired from your little union job. And we're part of the union. We're part of the union. The ones that cried racism the most but couldn't wait to go and work for the white man. Couldn't wait to go and work for the white man. Man, the system is racist. Every last one of y'all was in the office giving gawk. And I'm gonna do you one better. A lot of them are gay. They coming out. They coming out of the woodwork. Can't tell you how we go to these cities and we see these older black men sassy. They live alternative lifestyles. Drop the age a little to what? Want me to go 55? 55? All right, 55. Here's the link for 55 and up. I'm looking at 1,900 people in here right now. 1913. 1,913 people in here right now. You telling me we ain't got one 55 and up black man? Not one 55 and up black man that can tell us what they've done that's great for society. What their generation has done that's great for society. Not one. Don't even have to get on camera. You telling me we don't have one black man that's above 55 that can tell us what they did for this great for society. Y'all told me to drop the age. I dropped it 5 years. You in agreement? All right, cool. 55, you in agreement? 54? Oh, no, they watching. They watching. They just know better. They know, listen, if you want to know the biggest sellouts in the history of sellouts, it is older black men. And I ain't even talking about with regard to racism. I'm talking about they sold out their families. They sold out to crack. They sold out to prison. They sold out to they the worst, bro. They're the worst. They're the worst. And then right after they get out of prison, they want to go and start a church. And we supposed to follow you. You go, what? What? Get out of here. They're the reason why all of our society and the black culture is broken. 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 Broken, broken, broken. There you go. Make sure you hit a like for the algorithm, subscribe to the channel, and turn on your notifications. I can't stand your generation. Can't stand your generation. Always sitting down on a job. Always need a chair. Always need a chair. Always giving the younger people a hard time. See that right there? He ain't gonna last. Haters. Haters. I'm telling you, bro, older black men, they the hater generation. Anytime you got hired into the plant, they always was the ones that spelled doom and gloom. Always was trying to get you fired. Them was bro, that generation is the ones that was like, hey, boss, hey, they not doing what they supposed to do over there. You be like, hey, what's going on, old timer? They try to befriend you. They try to befriend you. Myron, ain't nobody thinking about you. They try to befriend you, and then they be telling on you behind the boss. They be recording conversations, telling you, man, they demon spawns. Every last one of them. Every last one of them is demon spawns. Anytime that I ever went into a job, before I got into corporate America, when I was in a steel mill, whenever I worked at a part supplier, no matter what, if it was an older black man there, you can guarantee that dude is the person that's going to get, if you get fired, it's going to be because of him. If you get fired, it's going to be because of him. Real talk. No, I employ black people. I employ women. I employ young people. I mentor people. I give them jobs. I give them opportunity. I'm a giver. I'm a distributor, not a hater. It's a difference. I actually put money in people's pockets, not try to remove them from being able to get their bags. One thing I've said my entire life, and let's keep it 100. Let's keep it 100. I always say, even if I'm beefing with somebody, I've always said, listen, I don't advocate for nobody to not be able to feed their family. I've always said it since day one. I've always said, hey, man, I don't advocate for nobody to not be able to get their bag. Let them get their money, man. Let them get their, hey, I don't like that, bro. Listen, we're not trying to mess up nobody's money. We're not trying to mess up nobody's ability to be able to feed themselves, to be able to feed their families. I've always said that from day one. So keep it 1,000. Keep it 1,000. Consistency. You know what I'm saying, Marie? Always. Since day one, I've always said, even if I don't like you, Even if I don't like you, I'm never going to advocate for you to lose your position. But they some haters, bro. They haters. They haters. Worst gatekeepers ever. I don't like them, bro. I don't like their generation. All of them dudes that was at the Millionaire March, cancel them dudes, bro. Take them out. Even the old leaders, the Al Sharptons, V.O. Hugleys, they the worst celebrities. They're the worst celebrities ever. Ever. Magic Johnson and them, the old guard, man, just get them out of there, bro. Get them out of there, man. They done. They done. The worst group ever. Bad fathers, bad celebrity fathers, bad money managers, bad everything. Simps, all of them. They the worst. In every facet, when you put up black men above 65, trash. Trash. Oh yeah, white men too. We're gonna get on them another day. We're going to get on them another day. White men was the original cucks, the original passport bros. But see, you had all of these older black men that was worshiping these gay white men, and so they followed in their footsteps, and they did the exact same thing that they did, except they wasn't as good at it. Just need to completely do away with that whole generation. Make sure you guys hit a like for the algorithm, subscribe to the channel, and turn your notifications. I can't stand these dudes. I don't like nothing about them. Ain't nothing about them cool. Ain't nothing about them awesome. Trash. Trash. Anton, why don't you like the generation of older, and it ain't all of them. Why don't you like the generation of older black men? Because they the ones that set the precedent for what we looking at today. We keep on trying to clean up behind they stupid selves and fix what they got going on. No, we just need to get rid of them altogether. Just let them die off. Let them go. Let them go. Let them be to themselves. Give them each other. We don't want to hear from them. We don't want to have conversations with them. We don't want to see y'all on a podcast. We don't want to hear nothing from y'all. Just go away. Just go away, bro. Chauncey says, waiting on a coaching call, big dog, military vet. Do I go to the front of the... That's a good one. That's a good one. Chauncey, I got you. Send me an email today, bro. Chris Cunningham in the building says, you know why men like Myron are bitter? Because they subscribe to the happy wife, happy life model and wear a Bluetooth head. Not only do they wear a Bluetooth headset, they wear the big one, and then they have the buckle on the belt. They always have their phone like this. Oh, no. Horrible fathers, too. Worst generation of fathers ever. Worst generation of fathers ever, bro. Always got their phone on their buckle like this, and they look just like this. Thinking they cool. I'm about to get me a Can-Am Spider. Man, if you don't get your old self out of here, we don't care nothing about you old school. I'm 56 and sure want to know. Hey, Zai, it ain't your fault. It ain't your fault, Sanquan. That's what the rest of July is going to be. We going to hold these old schoolers accountable for messing up the culture and society. Thank you, Myra, for the entertainment today. And I got on a white shirt today. You know what I'm saying? Greg says, AD, what up? A lot happened over the weekend. If you can cover Mom Donnie and NYC trying to sneakily meet with Iran and Trump switching planes because of the threats. Also, Mamdani removing a little Italy from NYC. They furious. I'm going to get to that in a minute. That's a part of the show. So we are talking about Trump. We getting into all of that. The P-boy Troy says trillions in debt because of them. Can't stand their generation. I don't know why. I don't know what's up with them, bro. They so weak. Such a weak generation of men. I got a C6, C7 Corvette. Man, old school. Don't nobody want to see that nonsense, bro. I was at the car show this weekend. Keep on bringing out your super old school. Man, don't nobody want to see that, man. If you don't get down on out of here, we got real money now. Anybody want to see my C6 Corvette, C7 Corvette? No, we don't. Anybody want to see my coin collection? No, we don't want to see your coin collection, old school. Get on up out of here. Anybody want to see what? Boy, you want to see what I got? No, we don't. We don't want to see nothing that you got, bro, at all. Sell it all and get out of here. I want to see his sock collection. Only thing they had was a good porn collection. That's about it. All right, I got you, Chauncey. Make sure you guys hit a like for the algorithm, subscribe to the channel, and turn on your notifications. We got to head over to St. Louis, y'all. I didn't know that St. Louis was out here doing it the way that they're doing it. St. Louis, make sure you guys hit a like for the algorithm, subscribe to the channel, and turn on your notifications.
A family was targeted in a mass shooting that stretched across East St. Louis. 5 family members killed at 3 different crime scenes. And tonight, 2 teens are in custody. Fox News' Cameron Mendoza has the latest from investigators and city leaders, along with reaction from neighbors.
This feels like something that would happen on the first 48, not nowhere near, right across.
When I look at this, right, what are y'all doing in St. Louis? Before we get into the video, because I'm reacting to this in real time. Before we get into the video, St. Louis, are we in the 70s or are we in 2026? What are we doing? Is this Tulsa, Oklahoma in 1967? Before the riots? Before Martin Luther King died? What are we doing? Yo, I'm honestly rethinking my trip to St. Louis. I'm strongly reconsidering the idea of going to St. Louis and seeing what's happening in the streets of St. Louis. Is this how it look? I was talking to Miss Sanchez this week, and Miss Sanchez said, Anton, I'm thinking about getting up out of here. What y'all doing? Who are these 70s, 60 characters that we see right here? Why y'all ain't got no shirts on? Why y'all hair look like that? How? Baby girl, over in St. Louis, for whatever reason, there's a generation of young men whose hair is a little bit more matted and spiky, and it kind of looks like a throwback to the 60s, except it's a lot nappier. Can you give me any insight on why this is a trend that's happening in our culture today?
It sounds like you're describing freeform locks or heavily textured sponge twist styles, which have become incredibly popular as a form of cultural expression. Many young men are embracing their natural hair texture in its rawest form, allowing it to lock and shape organically rather than conforming to more traditional manicured looks. This is part of a broader movement where hair is seen as a canvas for individuality and a connection to heritage. These styles can be low maintenance, but they also carry a deep cultural significance, representing autonomy and a rejection of Eurocentric grooming standards. It's a way of reclaiming autonomy over one's appearance and celebrating the unique versatility of Afro-textured hair. Do you see this particular style appearing among a specific group or age range in your community?
Yeah, younger black men. I'm not sure if they're rejecting Eurocentric straightening of the hair. It looks more like laziness to me. Can you confirm or deny?
I can't confirm that view. These styles actually require a lot of deliberate care and
No. Hold on, baby girl. What I'm looking at right here, there is no care that went into it. This is not washed. This is not taken care of. This is egregious.
It sounds like you're reacting to a very specific situation where the hair might not meet conventional grooming standards, and I can understand how that might be striking or concerning.
In St. Louis specifically.
Understood. Even in St. Louis, what might seem like a lack of care can sometimes be a deliberate style choice or part of a personal grooming routine, even if it differs.
Okay, I appreciate you, baby girl. Thank you. Baby girl said I should give y'all the benefit of the doubt. I'm not. I don't know what I'm looking at, and this looks like death. It looks. If I drive down the street and I see this, I'm like, wait a minute. What's going on here, guys? Did we make a wrong turn? What's happening? What's going on? Good gosh. Okay, Kevion. And here's another thing. Listen, we just gonna go ahead and get straight to it. We're not gonna mince words. We're not gonna try to make it nice or none of that type of stuff. We're gonna just keep it 100. Y'all don't know how to name y'all kids? Listen, it's over 2,036 people in here. Why don't y'all know how to name your children something to where they can get a good job? Why is their names Kevion? Where did you get that name from? Why do y'all call yourselves? Why does it have to be so unique to where it's just like y'all do know that we know that you ghetto. Why is it? Look, now I sound like an old hater. Well, if you're going to call me an old hater, make sure you call me an old rich one then, right? Because I want you to do better. Yeah, it's not Kevin. It's got to be Kevion. Kevion. Let me see. I'm reading your resume. Kevion Johnson. What do you think? Think this is a person that knows how to do the job? I don't know. We can get him in here. Well, first, before we get him in here, let's go ahead and check their social media and see what they look like. Oh, snaps! Kevion!
For me.
Neighbors, Kevion Johnson.
Look at this nonsense. Jesus Christ. I can't even get to the story. Yeah, I'm an old hater. I'm an old hater. Yes. Look, this is something to hate on. In order to hate on somebody, they got to kind of be doing better than you, right? Look at this nonsense. Look at what is going on. Oh my God. Y'all can't get mad at white people when white people are looking at this and they're saying, what are we doing? What did you think is going to happen? If there's any place that's more likely to get shot up with 5 people dead and 2 people injured, it's going to be right there in the midst of these guys. No, C. Diggs. We have to be honest about what we looking at. I didn't know that this was going to pop up. I didn't know that this was. I seen this happen. Somebody sent this story to me this morning. I said, all right, I add it to the list because there's no reason why an entire family should be targeted and 5 people are dead and 2 people are injured. But look at what we got here. In 2026, in July, this is what we talking about, y'all. It's the same thing from what was happening in 2016, same thing that was happening in 2006, same thing that was happening in 1996, same thing that was happening in 1986, same thing that was happening in 1976, same thing. They look the same as though we was in 1966. Let me guess. They want to be rappers, trappers.
Johnson and Samuel McLean Jr. at Gompers Public.
And I bet you they bloods. They got to be in the gang. Got to be in the gang. They bloods. Hey, dog. Hey, we made the news. But hey, big dog, we made the news. And they're going to be hitting me up. Hey, where the meetup at? Nope.
Housing unit were in shock.
It's a peaceful neighborhood, so when everybody get woke up and to hear that it's a female deceased.
How many people actually believe that this is a peaceful neighborhood? You got the Nissan Altima in the back, bumper about to be falling off. We got the projects. How do you know it's the projects? Well, this is what the projects look like. Usually got a police car over here, right? If you look up in the AC, they don't have central air. They usually have air conditioning units, and all of the different units that's at the top, right? One way in, one way out. One way in, one way out. It's the trap. That's why they call it a trap.
That's a lot because we're not used to it.
By the details of a quintuple homicide that happened on Sunday.
At least 7 members of the targeted family were shot at multiple locations in the East St. Louis area. And as of right now, 5 victims have been confirmed deceased.
We're brothers and sisters, and I don't like to see my women lose their lives. I don't like to see nobody lose their lives, and especially here. Our city prides just connection and brotherhood and sisters, you know what I mean? So to see anything like this, it's hard for me.
Police tell us this happened this morning across
overgrown
3
grass.
different places. One person died at
Look how high the grass is. Look at this ghetto nonsense that is playing out in St. Louis. Why do y'all have on hoodies and it's 90-something degrees in St. Louis? Why do you have on a hoodie, dog? And who's going to cut the grass? You can't even see the truck because the grass is so high, bro.
Shooting at a home at 39th and Summit. 3 other victims were shot in a home at the Gompers Public Housing Complex. One person died after being shot.
Told you it was the projects. It's the public housing complex. Mom Donnie and Karen Bass and Brandon Johnson wants to build a mass amount of public housing. This is where they're investing y'all tax dollars.
Jones Park. 2 people were shot at Jones Park, and they survived, but have serious injuries. The victims are 49-year-old Cherry L. May, 21-year-old Quentin L. Thompson, 24-year-old Devin D. May, 25-year-old Shania W. Thompson, and 74-year-old Patricia A. May.
They killed everybody. The whole family got targeted. The whole family got targeted.
Police arrested a 15 and 16-year-old after the shootings at Frank Holden State Park.
Shot by a 15 and a 16-year-old, and they killed the whole family.
For the Illinois Police, Brendan Kelly, says there's not a motive at this time as the investigation continues into how the events unfolded, but there are relations between the victims and the suspects.
It's terrible, it's evil, but it will not keep this city down. The progress we have made will not be lost as a result of this terrible, terrible acts of violence that have occurred in this community today.
We spoke with East St. Louis City Councilman Courtney Hoffman, who came to the press conference Sunday afternoon. And while police are classifying this as a mass shooting by technical circumstances,
this is not a mass shooting that you don't have to worry about going to the grocery store and someone shooting at you or anything like that. This is a one-off in a sense, so it's not something to be the whole community to be afraid of.
In East St. Louis,
15 and a 16-year-old came in and shot up everything and everybody. The 70-something-year-old LMA, Patricia, all of it. Look, check it out. More evil black men. They all fit the same narrative. All of them. All of them. Look at the black man. Look at them. Look at them. They usually have raggedy shirts. Look at them. I'm telling you, all of these black men fit the same narrative. They all fit the same. Look at this guy right here. Look at him. Look at him. Look at Alfonso. They look like this. It's because they do like that so their dentures don't fall out. They all have the same look. They're all older black men and they're broken. It's all the same. I'm telling you, they all the same. They all fit the same narrative. I can't make it up. All I can do is present to you the evidence. They lacking their top teeth, 100%. All I can do is give you the evidence. I can't tell you anything other than present it to you the way that it is. You know what I'm saying, Heather? Now you get it. Now you get it. Can't be out here walking around with these old school dudes. They're not even an unk. That's Paw. Shout out to Paw and them. You bitter, broken men. Couldn't wait to ruin your families, and now y'all on the internet terrorizing people that are productive. Stupid. And they have their dress shirts tucked in their drawers. And they always wearing dress shoes with their jeans. Dean Murray says some people are going to an accomplished legacy. Others are going to leave a legacy of social media comments. Terrell, what up, Terrell? In the building, I appreciate you. Big Dog says East St. Louis and St. Louis are totally different. Across the river, it's a different culture. That's every city, to be honest with you. CC, what up, CC? Says East St. Louis is in Illinois AD. It's a little bit rougher. All right, well, y'all educating me. Thank you, baby girl. L Boogie says they look up to they 55 and up and East St. Louis. They look up to them. Nah, Kevion don't know better. Those Fox 2 producers got to chill, though. Hey, are you crazy? Manny Plays PC says they're NSBs, no shirt bloods. Hey, man, this is a good neighborhood. This is a good housing environment. Seattle. Now, Seattle has become one of my favorite punching bags. A lot of people may not know that, but Seattle has become one of my favorite punching bags. And the reason that Seattle has become one of my favorite punching bags is because I think that it's a reflection of our culture. Seattle, three cities have become a reflection of what I think is the worst of what the culture has become. 3. Chicago, Los Angeles, and Seattle. Those three cities, in my opinion, has become a reflection of voters' interests. And now what you're starting to see is so many people are trying to run away from these cities. They're trying to get away from these environments and trying to act like, oh, no, 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 no. We didn't do this. We didn't vote for this. This is not what we want. Everybody is reactive and nobody is proactive. Everybody is reactive. I wouldn't say New York. I think that New York is an anomaly. Some people want me to say New York. I wouldn't say New York. And the reason that I can't say New York is because New York is almost like, I don't want to say too big to fail, but New York has so much runway to fail that when they do, it's going to be horrible. It's going to be a spectacular failure. What about Portland, AD? Yes, but see, I think that Portland is so much similar to Seattle that it's no reason to say both. When I say Seattle, Chicago, and Los Angeles, I picked those three cities not because there's not other cities that are also suffering, but because those three cities are the personification and the reflection of a lot of other places that's going in the same direction, right? So when you think about Chicago, for example, Chicago has unique characteristics. It's in the Midwest. It's the largest city in the Midwest. They're losing their football team. They've had a black leader overseeing this whole downward spiral. But at the same time, they just built the Obama Center, right? If that's not an oxymoron, I don't know what is. You got Los Angeles, supposed to be one of the most beautiful cities on the face of this earth because it's on the West Coast, and the weather often at times is even better than over in San Diego. Has all of the money, the commerce is right next to everything that you can ever imagine, but somehow, some way, we've managed to mess it up so bad, and we have a woman, a black woman that is at the helm, right? Follow what I'm saying. A black woman is at the helm of ruining a major American city. So much fraud, so much abuse, so much waste, so many issues is also a reflection of California in itself. Because I'm going based off of the leadership and also the demographic and where it's located. Then you have Seattle, right? Seattle is a true liberal hellhole run by a socialist white woman that looks like the Saw Clown, that is being controlled and don't even know how to communicate to reporters when they ask them a question. So when I say these cities, I'm saying it based off of multiple factors, the leadership, all of this stuff. And again, there's other cities that are similar to it. But my point is, I'm using them as an example to illustrate how bad we've fallen in these cities and how bad things are going to get. So today, as we move more into culture and money, I want y'all to pay attention to something because there's so many factors that can indicate how bad a city is going. And the worst thing that you can have is businesses leaving your city. Make sure you hit a like for the algorithm. Subscribe to the channel, turn on your notifications. Make sure you subscribe to the Patreon. We live streaming tonight. And this is what's happening down in Seattle.
Seattle is leading the nation on a list that no one wants to top. Office vacancy rate is 36.5% in downtown Seattle, now the highest of any major U.S. city.
Let me stop there. I don't usually stop at this early, but let me stop there. Do you know how much over a third of your office vacancy rate, and you being the highest? And not only that, they have major employers. You're talking about Microsoft, Amazon's headquarters is there. Starbucks headquarters are there. Do you know how high almost a 40% downtown office vacancy rate is? Yes, we are live streaming on Patreon tonight. It is insane. It's unthinkable for a place like Seattle. 20 years ago, heck no. Seattle was almost like, before we knew how bad most of these places were, before we knew, I looked at some of these places, and this is the worst part about it. I looked at some of these places as, yo, I would love to see it. Liberal Ton said, bro, because I was immersed in what was great about the country, right? So Liberal Ton wasn't as focused on the politics. Liberal Ton was more focused on, man, these are the things that are being advertised to us. Social media wasn't as big, and we didn't have as much commentary for people to do their own research and then be able to get the word out and communicate, right? So when I thought of Portland, you know what I thought of? Nike. When I think of Portland, back Liberal Time, before I started focusing on why things is going the way they are, I thought of Nike. When I thought of Seattle, I thought Microsoft, Starbucks. You know what I'm saying? I didn't even think about Amazon at the time. I thought grunge, Nirvana. And so I'm like, man, I got to see these places where all of these great bands come from. I got to see these places where all of these great bands come from. I had to go. When we thought about Chicago, we didn't think about Chicago like Ye, because Ye wasn't out, none of that stuff yet. You know what we thought about? I thought about Twista. I thought about Chicago was a little different because they were our cousins. And so people usually visited Chicago on a regular basis. I was from Detroit. If we didn't go down to Ohio, we was usually over in Chicago. And so Chicago was like, yo, Chicago, that's the major city of the Midwest. You know what I'm saying? When you think about Los Angeles, you thinking movie stars and Lakers and Clippers is the little brother to the Lakers and all of this stuff, right? Johnny P. Yeah, you know Toy, Johnny P. Do you want to ride in the backseat of the caddy? Top it up with do or die. Do you want to ride in the backseat of the caddy? It was 7:00 p.m. to the road, to the road, to the CM, to the C Grams. When I'm chewing on the weed stem, move to the back so I can see who beeping his pole pim. Lean to the back with a slow limb. 3-5 connection on the west on this section. We got a strips you need. Plus we doing 2 those sections. Y'all know how it is. I'm sorry, I didn't forgot the lyrics, but I know the cadence. I know the cadence. Ain't never got to tell them any lies. I've been looking in the city skies. Peanut butter complex on some pretty thighs. Pretty thighs and the cat right. Your anatomy gotta be right, gotta be the flat of me tight. Something like that. Something like that. Something like that. That's what we know. That's what I thought about when I thought about Chicago. You know what I'm saying? Adrenaline rush. Let me play with your emotions, ho. A to the mother of a cave, do yourself. But when we think about these places, I looked at America. I looked at America like a tourist, like a person that was coming from out of town to come and visit the world. Because my world as Liberal Time, before I really started to get out and travel and stuff like that, before I got some money, my world was based off of what I heard in the music. It was based off of what I seen on TV. Like I'll give you an example. Some of us are of an age to where when we seen the Cosby Show and In a Different World, most of y'all that went to school in the 90s, most of y'all only went to HBCUs because of what you experienced on A Different World. Am I lying? We were so impacted and influenced by what we seen in the TV and the movies and all of that stuff, right? We were obsessed with finding out, okay, wait a minute, is that what college is like over there? That's why we couldn't wait to leave our parents' house, because we couldn't wait to get to a different world. I'll do you one even later than that. Forget a different world. I know a lot of people that joined band, one sound. Because they was listening to Drumline, Nick Cannon. One band, one sound. Flight of the Bumblebee. Flight of the Bumblebee, Flight of the Bumblebee, Flight of the Bumblebee. Yeah. Yeah. Some of y'all was on Stomp the Yard. Looking at Chris Brown. Ooh. And then when people try to tell me, Anton, nah, man, listen, we not influenced by what happens in popular culture, all of this other type of stuff. No, we are. We are. We always have been. We always will be. We are. We are. Every last one of us has had something, music, movies, culture, something that we've been influenced by that has impacted us, that left us this impression that we have to travel this country and we got to see it for ourselves one day. I got to get down to the HBCUs. Oh my God. I got to go get down to Miami. What? They running up a bag like that? Most of y'all chicks only want to go down to Miami because you think that there's some dudes down there to be able to trick for you. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? So when we go out to these places, 50% simp. When we go out to these places, 50% simp said this guy is an actor and he cracking up. No, I'm just animated because I'm passionate about what I'm talking about. So when we seen these things, when we seen what was happening, we was like, wait a minute. I gotta go and see it. And then when I got grown and I went out there to LA and I said, wait a minute, it's doo-doo on the ground. Look at all this doo-doo. It was looking just like this. Like a little doo-doo. And you get some splashed doo-doo. So you can't even focus when you're walking because you're trying to dodge doo-doo on the ground. You know what I'm saying? It's doo-doo. And it ruined it for me. It ruined it for me. I go to these places. I went to Portland. I said, anybody know where Portland at? The Portland that I grew up trying to understand. They said, this is it. I said, no. The Portland that I grew up with. The one that got Nike headquarters. They said, I'm sorry, this is it. And I'm sitting there looking at a grown man that's dressed as a woman that got red, pink, and purple hair. And his voice is saying man, but his face is saying woman. I mean, you know, it's saying, and I said, I'm sorry. Sir, ma'am, sir. I said, where is Portland? He said, baby, this is it. And I said, oh, God, this ain't what I thought it was out in these streets, man. I said, I was out here to do reconnaissance to try to figure out if we could do a Patreon live meet up here. But I don't think that we can make it over to Portland. Because my homeboy, he worked at Nike straight out of college. And he was like, oh, man, yeah, man, they keep saying keep Portland weird. It's weird. It's weird. And even over in San Diego. And I was out there, and I loved San Diego. I had the whole layout. I had the pool, had the mansion. I'm out in San Diego. I'm partying. Got 10 bedrooms, 15 bathrooms. We out there making it happen. and I went to downtown San Diego, and I seen a man, and he said, he was doodling right there on the corner, and I said, what's going on here? This is not supposed to be like LA at all. I didn't understand it. But over in Seattle, this is what's happening. This is what's happening. Yep.
Seattle is leading the nation on a list that no one wants to top. Office vacancy rate is 36.5% in downtown Seattle, now the highest of any major U.S. city. Since 2020, downtown Seattle has lost around 30,000 jobs. That's the same year Seattle passed its payroll tax, targeting large companies with employees making high salaries. According to the Downtown Seattle Association, the city's record business taxes are a major factor in the job loss and for its high office vacancy rate. Today, I spoke with John Scholes, president of the DSA, as Mayor Katie Wilson considers more taxes as a way to plug a nearly $500 million budget shortfall in the next 3 years.
And she wants to, listen. They have a nearly 40% vacancy rate. All the businesses are leaving. Starbucks is building a new headquarters in Nashville. And you want to know what their solution is? More taxes. This is going to be the greatest social experiment that we've ever experienced in our entire life. We are literally living in a simulation where we get to try out what works and what doesn't work in multiple major cities and ruin people's lives and ruin their homes and ruin their property taxes and so on. I just had a video last week, a segment where we went over Jersey City and they raising property taxes by 20%. So her goal is to raise up more taxes, run out more businesses, and raise the cost even more.
Mayor Katie Wilson said back in June that more taxes are on the table, including the expansion of the payroll tax, as you know, aka the Jumpstart tax. Thoughts on that regarding the expansion of the payroll tax down the road, possibly?
Well, I think it's the wrong move for Seattle, and it would continue, I think, to push jobs outside of our city. And we don't need more business taxes in Seattle. We need more businesses located here paying taxes. And I think it's important for the city to spend within their means. They haven't done that over the last 5 or 6 years. They've spent beyond the revenues that they've collected, and they've tried to make up the difference by putting a lot more taxes on Seattle employers, which have sent a lot of jobs elsewhere.
You know, what about the people who say, you know, there was a recent report that said the GDP was very strong, showing the economy was very strong in Washington State just this year. The sky is not falling. You know, much of the slowdown is AI and tech companies who are laying people off, and it's not really the taxes or the politics of downtown Seattle. Do you buy that?
There's a lot of turbulence and headwinds, and I do think Seattle is in a unique position relative to many other major metros. If you look at the top 30 major metropolitan areas in the U.S., you know, we're near the bottom when it comes to job growth over these last 4 years. So, yes, certainly COVID and shifts in how tech companies are hiring and investments in AI and layoffs and inflation and national and global turmoil that has created a lot of uncertainty economically are factors, but those are factors that other cities are facing as well, and many of those cities are growing jobs, and Seattle hasn't.
Mayor Wilson has a tough road ahead of her, and much of this budget deficit, of course, she inherited. And again, as I mentioned, it's nearly $500 million. If you were across the table from her, what solutions, other solutions or advice would you give to her, in your opinion, that could solve this?
Well, first, I think we have to acknowledge the realities here is that the city doesn't have a budget deficit. They have more revenue than they had last year, more revenue last year than they had the year before. What they have is a spending problem, and they've spent beyond those revenues. You can get new revenue. You can grow the tax base by making Seattle just a fabulous place to do business. And by filling spaces in downtown Seattle, whether it's office space or ground floor, that produces more tax revenue. We think that's the strategy. Grow the pie. Make this place the best best place to do business, the easiest place to open a restaurant or a retail outlet. We've got lots of empty office space in downtown, nearly 20 million square feet of vacant space. And, you know, that's not a great deal for those folks that own those buildings, but it's not a great deal for Seattle residents either, because the value of those buildings is about half of what it was just 4 or 5 years ago.
And the chasers already know that what happens when the value of a building goes down because of office vacancies. That means that the building's owner is not only in trouble, but they also can file to reduce the amount that they have to pay in taxes to the city. Well, what does that do? It then lowers the amount that you're bringing in as far as the budget. And then this cycle, right? This doom cycle starts where they start to raise more taxes on the businesses. The businesses start to desert. As they desert, the actual office building owners, because those leases run out, the office building owners then continue to reduce the amount that they have to pay in taxes. And ultimately, who gets left holding the bag? The residents. The residents are the ones that get holding the bag, because then the politicians come and they don't say, well, we mismanage the city finances, and so as a result, we got to suffer. You know what happens? They come to the people and they say, hey, first of all, this happened before us, so we don't really know what to do, but we are the ones that got to deal with it, and so it is what it is. That's the first thing that happens. Then the second thing that happens is they come across and then they say, so guess what, guys? We need to raise property taxes by 15 to 20% every single year. So now you start to get your property tax bill. You get your property tax bill. Then the people that are renting out their properties, they pass that cost over to the renters because they have to be able to be solvent, right? Because they have to pay the mortgage, they got to pay the property taxes, they got to pay the insurance. And so the cost goes up. The people that are ignorant as hell, that don't know any better, that just talk out of the side of their neck, they then say, oh my God, I can't believe it. The cost of living is going up. The owners of the houses are saying, hey, wait a minute. All of these property taxes, hey man, this junk is getting out of control. I don't know what to do. Then you have a group of people that say, well, you know what? I don't want to own a home anymore because of the first of all, you never really own a home. Secondly, I can't afford the taxes. Third, somebody is the maintenance on the property is out of control. And so what are we going to do? Well, I'm just going to move and I'm going to go and be a renter. Now you got another cycle that starts off, because remember, we're in a simulation. So this next cycle that happens is you then have a group of people. All right. You have a group of people that is not smart enough to actually do the research to understand why they're in this situation or why they're in the position that they're in. And so what they do is they say, well, the cost of living is too high. Never mind the fact that they're the ones that voted for it. Never mind the fact that they're the ones that advocated for it. They say the cost of living is too high. So then they take the way that they vote and they move to a different place, and they go to turn that new place into the old place that they ran away from, because they're not smart enough to change their ways. They just think that they can move and all of their problems go away. Similarly to how I describe how a person that gets fired from this job and this job, and then they go to the next job and they say, it must be everybody else's fault. It's not my fault, but they take themselves with them everywhere that they go. And not only that, because they were in Seattle or because they were in Los Angeles, they sell their property, they have a flush ton of cash, right? And then they move to another place and they raise the cost and they start to vote the same way. And that's how you get in Austin. That's how you get a Houston. That's how you get a Dallas. That's how you get these blue strongholds in these red states, because they're looking for greener pastures. And so what they do is they ruin the fabric of that place and they turn it into the place that they left. And that's the cycle. So now, when you go to Austin, you might think that you're over in Seattle. Or when you go to Dallas, you may think that you're in Portland. And then you got everybody on the internet getting mad at you. And they say, don't turn my Texas into California. Don't come here and vote the same way that you did when you left. And then the people say, oh, okay. And then they do the exact same thing that they did when they was over there. Yep. It's a lot of people from California that actually moved to Nashville. Yep. A lot of people from California actually moved to Nashville. It's crazy. It's insane.
And so that property tax burden really shifts to residents. Those buildings were paying a lot more 5 years ago to contribute to city property taxes, but also school district property taxes and the county and state property taxes than they are today. And that property tax burden shifts to residents. So if you care about affordability,
somebody said, no, don't do Dallas like that. Don't do Dallas like what? Bro, when I went to Dallas, there was so many gay flags. I thought that I couldn't tell if I was in San Francisco or if I was in Dallas. Now, I will say that the people are absolutely nice. When I was in Dallas, there were so many pride flags in Dallas. I was like, where am I? Now, I will say that I like Dallas better than I like Houston because Dallas is better designed. It's not as many people. And it's a cool little city. It's a cool city. But yes, I seen sassiness in Dallas hallways like never before. Real talk. Downtown Dallas is the gay area, so the whole downtown is gay. What do you mean he's probably in the gay area? So downtown Dallas, the whole downtown is the gay area? With the parks and the restaurants and all of the place where everybody was? What are you talking about? They got a gayborhood in Dallas? Oh, no. Y'all got a gayborhood? I don't believe you. I got to look this up. I'm going to go on YouTube and look it up. Let me see. I got to see this for myself. Wait, it came right up. Is this a real thing? What? I don't even, bro, you know what's so, I'm messing up my algorithm. What am I doing? What am I doing? My Dallas algorithm is messed up. This is crazy. I got to show y'all what's on my screen right now. Hold on. It's insane. Hold on, let me close this out. Y'all seeing this? I can't do it, bro. I can't do it. It's insane. I didn't know that this was a thing. I'm messing up my algorithm. I got to get this off of my stuff real quick. Clear. Hold on, let me go. Watch history. YouTube. Search history. Watch history. Clear. Now about to have me out here. History. All right, I didn't click on any of the videos, so I should be good. I should be good. We should be all right. We should be all right. We got to cover Trump and Iran, but before we do that, let me read some of these super chats. Got to clear the search history. Checking in biz says Alfonso looks like a Fraggle Rock in the face. What up, dog? Checking in bids online. What up, big dog? San Juan says play Hustle Music 5 by Payroll. We gotta move it around. We got a lot of music to get to. Slan Sells Cars in the building says Mimi is a great addition to the night show. I like Mimi. AR is back, says I'm gonna need that rich off cocaine before the meetup, AD. All right, okay. Shamon Carney says, yo, AD, I think Rose about to drop a classic. Salute for playing my favorite joint by Pac. I love Temptations, bro. That's one of my favorite songs of all time. Chris Cunningham says, next time, can we show some love to Biggie? Biggie. We'll see. It depends on the mood, right? Like, when you picking songs or when you picking things that you want to play, you got to go based off of the mood. You can't you don't know what you're going to feel until you start feeling it. Weekend approved for the meetup. Weekend hotel booked. I may need to be a moderator turn security. We'll have a full house. Salute to Anton and the Bag Chasers. Let's go. What up, Antonio? Marty Slice has pulled up in a caddy. Double L. Bumping AC. Shout out to my dog, Marty Slice. JC. Iran deleting Trump as propaganda lies from Israel. We'll get there. We about to talk about it. All Natural says, I went to a predominantly white university and then an HBCU because of a different world. The white one didn't spoon feed us like my experience over at the HBCU. Manny Plays PC says, somewhere out there, the dad is having a hard conversation with his son who just wants to go to college to dance. Jamal says companies are moving offices to Bellevue across the water from Seattle. Microsoft has offices. Seattle is having a rough patch. Western Washington is one of the wealthiest regions in the U.S. My dog, Mr. Lot, in the building. What happened to the stream? What the F happened to the stream, bro? I don't know. If you start getting prep commercials, you know it's a wrap. I wonder how many people actually take that. How many people take prep? The Jay-Z show was hitting. Hitting. Man, I should have went. I seen so many people from Detroit out there. I heard New York was on 10 this past weekend. People that went to the Conor McGregor fight said that they should have went out to New York to go see Jay. Listen, bro. I've been making a lot of sacrifices lately. A lot. I have been staying home. I have been working. I have been being productive. I've been trying to do all of the things right way. Yeah, I heard they did a Detroit takeover. All of my friends was there. And hold on, bro. Seen all of the who's who. Yeah, I heard the show started late because of the ticketing. I heard the show started late because of ticketing. The show started at midnight. I'm glad I didn't go to I don't know, man. I was just home. Trying to figure it out. Make sure you guys hit a like for the algorithm, subscribe to the channel. P. Shank says, Anton, 5 members killed in East St. Louis. It's alleged the 2 killers were relatives of the victim dispute over a teenager relationship. Y'all crashing out like that over a teenage relationship, P. Shank? Is that what they doing out in the streets? I don't know what's happening, but it's bad out here, and we're going to figure it out. You did tell me. That is true. Brock, I'm going to be honest with you. Listen, Brock. I was trying to be responsible. You want to know what my life is like? All right. I've been trying to be responsible, trying to do the right thing, but y'all keep on trying to, no, you got to beat her. No, I'm trying to do good, trying not to get in trouble. This is what my life is like. Let me show you. You know what this is? I was going in, and I'm looking at the different properties, and they're doing the insulation now. See all of that insulation? I'm going to talk about this in the Patreon this weekend too. Not this weekend, this week. See all of this insulation? See all of the insulation? This is of a house that I'm building, right? So I'm putting all of my hard-earned resources into homes, into building properties. So I'm sitting there, right? Because let me tell you the text messages that I get every day. These are the text messages that I get every day. Let me show you. This is today. This is what my life is like. I got to screenshot it so y'all can't see it all. Hey, insulation guy would like 2 more thousand. It's going to be a minute before he finishes and gets his last payment. I said, that's fine. Then there's another one. $10,000, $10,500 is for another check. I'm going to get both checks today. Oh, okay, cool. Now this is today, as you can see, 9:14 a.m. Every day, almost every day, because I got 3 different projects happening all at the same time. Actually, 3 different houses being built, plus one of them is being renovated. Every day, I write about $15,000 in checks. Somewhere between $10,000 and $15,000 in checks. So Ton Dog has to be here on the projects. I got to be on site. I got to see what these guys are doing. I need to make sure that they're not overcharging me. I got to be in the studio. I got to create content. And so I'm locked in. I've been locked in. I've been trying to take care of business. I've been doing what I got to do. And I've been trying to be responsible. So I can't be out in New York all the time partying. So I got to pick one. Either I can go to the meetup and make sure that I take care of the bag chasers, or I can go to New York and I can go party at Jay-Z. So I choose the meetup. That's my life. That's my life. So everything I do is business. Everything I do is investments. Everything I do is putting the money back into the businesses, putting money back into the content, putting money back into the properties, doing this, writing this, whatever. So I live my life and say it's a time to play and it's a time to lock in and take care of business. Right now, unfortunately, while everything seems to be happening all at the same time, this is the time for me to lock in. And so that's why I was telling y'all in the beginning of the show, my goal was to create this beautiful prison that I live in so that I can be happy and comfortable with the fact that I have to lock in. I got you, Leo girl. I have to create this beautiful prison that I live in because I have to be 100% dialed in and that's going to be the difference between, and I keep telling y'all this, the difference between success and being regular is, do you do the things that nobody want to do at the time when the opportunity presents itself? Yes, I can go and do anything I want to do, but if I want to really hit it, and if I really want to take advantage of this opportunity that's right now, I can't do the things that everybody else do. Not right now. I can't do it. And most of us don't have that self-control. We don't have that self-control. We don't have the ability to say no, or you know what, not right now, or you know what, it don't make sense, or you know what, it don't, that's not what's up. We don't have that ability. It's delayed gratification. Once you get there, delayed gratification is the hardest thing. It's the hardest thing to do. It's the hardest thing to do is to have that delayed gratification. And so you have to, you just try to lock in. You try not to. But then when I come on Instagram and I see my homeboys or somebody text me and say, Ty, you should be here. Hey, man, don't text me no more, bro. Don't text me no more. I don't want to see it. I don't want to hear it. I don't want to see it. I don't want to hear it. Because I'm up to, last night, real talk, last night, me in your car up till 4 a.m. working. So while y'all was at the Jay-Z concert, I don't even get done texting him until 2 a.m. My last text message to your car was at 2 a.m. last night. It was at 2 a.m. last night. That's my last text message. And then I had to do some more work for another hour and a half. Then I jumped in the shower and I made some breakfast, and then I went to sleep. And then I got up and 2.5 hours to start prepping for the show and to get ready for the morning show. So I can't always do the things that everybody else think is fun. Sometimes in order to be the rich one, you got to sacrifice, and then you send everybody else. So we popping. Let's get to this Trump conversation. When I tell y'all to do these things, when I say, hey, this is what you got to do to be successful, I don't just tell you. I'm telling you what I'm living. I'm telling you what I'm living. Nah, Julie, I'd rather be rich. I'd rather be rich. I don't want to be like the boomers, these old school guys that didn't do what they were supposed to do, and then we got it, and nah, I don't want to be nothing like them. I'd rather be 50 and richer than 50 and regular. I don't want to be, I chose my R. I would rather be 50 and rich, which I'm 44, but for the sake of conversation, you said 50. I'd rather be 50 and rich than 50 and regular. That's my R. I don't want to be regular with everybody else. I'm good. You know what I'm saying? Shoot, y'all should be getting drops. Y'all should be getting uploads while I'm streaming the show, right? Everybody should be getting drops. Everybody should be getting notifications from the Anton Daniels channel, from Room 9, from the Millionaire Morning Show. Y'all should be getting notifications of videos that are dropping even while we live streaming, right? Okay. Well, let's get to it.
So back with the latest in the Middle East, the United States conducting a fresh round of strikes against Iran in an attempt to counter Tehran's aggression in the Strait of Hormuz. Let's go live to Tel Aviv where Mike Tobin has the details. Good morning, Mike.
Good morning, Lawrence. The latest in the back and forth with struggle for control over the Strait of Hormuz has Iran once again firing on its neighbors. Jordan, Oman, Bahrain, and Kuwait all took fire. The Kuwait is saying that border crossings, even an oil rig were hit out there. There's been a lot of social media traffic suggesting that U.S. service members were injured in Kuwait. Those reports are not true. But this follows another round of U.S. strikes inside of Iran. There may be some fresh reporting today about new strikes. The U.S. says everything from missile launching sites to maritime locations that Iran was using to menace shipping in the Strait were hit. Dozens of targets were hit by land-based and sea-based fighter jets. Guided missiles were fired from ships in the area. This latest round of airstrikes came after Iran fired on a Cyprus-flagged cargo ship crossing the Strait. It was traveling outside of the route designated by Iran and following the route encouraged by the U.S. One sailor is now missing and the ship was disabled. President Trump says Iran triggered this round of violence.
Agreed to a deal yesterday, a perfect deal for us. No nuclear, no this, no that, no nothing. They gave up everything. And then after that, they left the room. And then within an hour, they launched a drone at a ship.
As far as the plot to assassinate President Trump, as relayed by Israeli intelligence, the U.S. Secret Service issued a statement. While we do not confirm or comment on intelligence matters, we consume information on a global level to effectively execute our protective operations.
This is pretty serious. You know, you can't just make these kind of claims. I think it's important for Americans to understand that what the Iranians are saying and doing is nothing that they haven't been doing for 47 years.
Meantime, some 20 vessels, upwards of 20 vessels, crossed the strait yesterday. That's about half the volume before this latest round of strikes. Oil is now up 3.5% a barrel to $79 a barrel, and that's about 8% higher than it was before this latest round in the conflict. Lawrence, back to you.
Roger that. Thanks so much, Mike. United Against Nuclear Iran CEO and former U.S. Ambassador to the UN, Mark Wallace, joins us now. Mr. Ambassador, thanks so much for joining the program. I want to talk about the Strait. Before we get to the Strait, though, there is some reporting that when you look at Fordo, Natanz, or Esfahan, there has been no movement there. But it does look like some of the surveillance imaging is showing that they're trying to reconstitute Pixax Mountain. What do you make of that?
Well, first of all, thank you for having me on. I appreciate it, and was listening to Mike's great report. Obviously, you really covered it comprehensively. Look, we have really good eyes on these nuclear sites, and I'm confident, given where the eyes that we have on it, and whenever you see commercial satellite reporting or news reporting of satellite data on these nuclear sites, I am quite confident that our military and our intelligence services have truly quite good eyes on these locations. And look, moving surface debris around is one thing. Truly trying to dig out this material and reconstitute a nuclear program, we will know it. But it is worrisome because clearly Iran is not ready to rejoin the community of nations, as so many of our friends have hoped in the past. And I think it's quite suspect that they ever will want to do that. And this kind of conduct is designed to be provocative and get us talking about it.
Yeah, the president makes the argument that they don't even have the tools to be able to dig out that nuclear dust. So, but they're still attempting to do it. I want to move on over to the Strait because that seems to be their one tool. At what point should the president weigh the options? Because we have plans put in place to do that, to secure the Strait. Are we reaching that moment that the president may implement that plan so we take that off the table, those cards?
Look, for the last 47 years, Iran has been desperate to confront the West and use the leverage of terrorism, its proxies across the region, its nuclear program, which was its ultimate leverage. And now most of that leverage has been eviscerated, obliterated, it's gone. And the last gasp of this leverage that they hope to have, even as oil prices and China's oil consumption, as oil producers around the Strait are redirecting, the control of the Strait of Hormuz and the effort to try to control that is their desperate effort to regain or try to assert regional hegemony, control in the region. And I think that it's, as long as this regime is in power, they're going to try to exert whatever leverage they can. And the Strait of Hormuz is really their last gasp because their other tools are gone.
Such a good point. Before I let you go, it would be foolish of me if I didn't get you to respond to the tragic passing of the late Senator Graham. I know you had a relationship with him.
I want to pull up something else really quickly before I give my commentary.
President Trump was asked by the New York Post today about reporting that Iran had recently devised a new plot to assassinate him, according to Israeli intelligence. He said, and I quote, "I've been on their list for a long time. That's what we're dealing with." He went on to say, "The only thing is I've left instructions if anything happens to just literally bomb them at levels that they've never seen before." Now, we're learning more about that alleged assassination plot. According to an Israeli source, it involved this man, the new commander of Iran's Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps, the IRGC, who was part of a group advocating for such a plan. Israeli intelligence told the Trump administration it reflected a desire among elements of Tehran's hardline leadership to target President Trump rather than a specific detailed plan to carry out such an operation. That's according to the Israeli source and a U.S. official.
In his first message since the funeral of his father and predecessor, Iran's supreme leader vowed revenge in a written statement attributed to him on state media. And meanwhile, President Trump posted late Friday evening that missiles are locked and loaded, ready to strike Iran should Tehran try to kill him. Trump said Iran has wanted him dead for years, adding that if anything were to happen to him, the United States should literally bomb them at levels they've never seen before. Joining me now is senior military analyst for CNN and former Supreme Allied Commander of NATO, Admiral James Stavridis. Admiral, great to see you as always. Would Iran really risk the fury that would follow if they attempted to assassinate President Trump?
The question is, who is Iran? I think we are in a modality at the moment, at least, where there are clearly 2 or 3 different claques at the top of that government. That's why we get frequently very mixed messages, and we get a lot of very harsh rhetoric alongside kinetic action, striking ships in the Gulf. On the other hand, the foreign minister shows up for talks. So which Iran is the question? I'd also point out, the old saw is all politics are local. You know what? Politics are personal also. And so the current supreme leader, we just need to bear in mind, at the start of this conflict, we killed his mother, his father, his wife. I think one of his children was that sad, tiny little coffin at the ceremony's burial. So I think he, quite understandably, has taken that very, very personally. So I think there's...
Yeah, I was going to say it, and I know that this is an uncomfortable conversation that we're about to have sometimes because we only see us, which we are supposed to see us because we're supposed to be on our side. But I didn't expect them to have any other sentiment other than exactly what they have. Oh, they want to kill Trump. Well, yeah, they want to kill Trump because we've literally taken out most of their leadership, a lot of their families, and when we go after people, we go after anything and everything that's associated with you. So if they then say, hey, listen, our goal is ultimately to try to take out the president of the United States of America, I don't see that as anything other than normal. Right? I believe that there are a lot of leaders that probably want to try to take out Trump. I'm pretty sure that there's a lot of countries like Iran that wouldn't mind having Trump taken out. Yeah, your family, your kids, your wife, everybody else got bombed as a result of it. I think I would be probably wanting to take you out also. So the problem with this conversation is that, and again, I know I'm saying something that probably makes people uncomfortable, but the problem with this conversation is that when we have these conversations and we say, oh, okay, well, this is happening now because we are on our side on the U.S., I'm not really sure that you can negotiate with terrorists. So my only question is, what is the goal or what is the objective now that we know that some of these people that are in leadership have nothing to lose? What do we think is going to happen, right? What do you think? If I take out your whole family, I'm not really sure that there's any way that I can negotiate because there is no leverage outside of your own life. I don't even think that you value your life as much as you did when you had your family in it. Right? You know what I'm saying? So I don't look at this and say, oh man, this is crazy. I can't believe that they're trying to assassinate the president. Yeah, I'm very much expecting for them to do everything in their power to try to assassinate the president. Why wouldn't they try to assassinate the president? That's normal, right? They would absolutely just normally try to assassinate the president. One of the things that they were also talking about last week was that we had to switch planes because the plane that they had donated to us, not them, but the planes that was the one out of Turkey, they couldn't take that same thing, so that they had to switch their planes.
President Trump has made no secret of how much he loves his new jumbo jet that was gifted to him by the Qatari government. So why is he now taking the old version of Air Force One again? That's the question that a lot of reporters are asking today, especially after the president flew on the new plane to the NATO summit in Turkey, but flew back from Turkey on the NATO summit on the old version of Air Force One. The president said that the new Qatari jet was being sent ahead of time to a military base in the United Kingdom so members of the United States military could tour it and see just exactly what it looks like on the inside. We saw President Trump landing at that same military base where he walked from the old Air Force One to the new Air Force One. You can tell a difference in the old color scheme on that plane versus the new red, white, and blue one that he put on the new Qatari plane.
That new one is sick, though. I ain't even gonna cap. Like, even the colors and all of that stuff. Like, this one, this red, white, and blue one, look way sicker than just this regular blue one that he usually be on. But it's a safety issue. Listen, I wouldn't risk it. I would leave it as, I think it's supposed to go to his presidential library or something like that afterwards. I wouldn't risk it even a little bit. I don't want our president in any way, shape, or form to even if there's a 0.01% chance, nah. And, you know, of course, I trust our government to do their due diligence to make sure that nothing is happening or that it's not a Trojan horse, but I just don't trust it.
Air Force One to the new Air Force One. You can tell a difference in the old color scheme on that plane versus the new red, white, and blue one.
You like the old colors? You like the old plane better than the new plane? No way. The new plane is sick. That new one in the new color scheme is way sicker.
On the new Qatari plane. Now, the White House said that this was because the president wanted members of the military to be able to see it for themselves. But the president himself was also asked whether or not it had to do with any security issues or concerns about his own personal safety. This is what he told reporters.
I'd like you to address speculation that you're leaving Ankara not.
He always keeps the same people around him.
In the new Air Force One because of security concerns involving Iran. You've spoken today twice about them possibly assassinating you and possibly being successful. Did that concern have something to do with it?
Well, I speak about it a lot because, you know, the life of a president is very dangerous. Boy, you should have told me that years ago. Maybe I wouldn't have run. It's a very dangerous profession. No, I'm number one on the kill list for Iran.
Tonight, the New York Times is reporting that a security precaution is what led to the resumption of hostility, that related to the resumption of hostilities, I should say, with Iran, is what led to the president's plane change that happened today. Sources are telling the Times in this new report that the new plane does not have all the features of the old Air Force One. My source tonight is Mark Cancian, a retired Marine Corps colonel who oversaw the Air Force One replacement program under the Bush and Obama administrations. And thank you, sir, for being here.
Where do they be recording that? They on a potato inside of their closet?
Because there are questions that were raised when this new plane was being brought about retrofitting it, getting it up to speed for the president's use. When y'all in the New York Times tonight that says that there were.
When y'all looking at Caitlin Collins, what do y'all look like? Do y'all think that she's a decent looking chick, or do y'all think that she's like how do y'all rate Caitlin Collins? All right, we already got all of the information that we need. What do y'all rate Caitlin? Let me see if I can get a good picture of her. Let me see. I don't know if that's a good picture. What do y'all rate Caitlin? Fellas, give me a number. 1 to 10. What do y'all rate Caitlin? Some people saying baddie. Your car said 3 out of 10, 7 out of 10. Five, 6, 7, 6, 8, 9? Get the hell out of here. 5, 6, 6 out of 10. 5. She a solid 4. Your car says a solid 4. 6, 6, 7, 5, 6, 3 to 4, 6, 5, 7, 7, 8. She's pretty. 5, 5, 4, 4. Man, these numbers is all over the place. Strokeable. Somebody said strokeable. 6, 6. She looked like Jack Nicholson in Batman with those cheeks. 7, but her mouth makes her a 4. Solid 5.5, 4. All right, I got another question. For the chat. All right. Do we rate people higher based off of their clout, or do we rate them based off of what we would rate them in a regular situation? You can tell she looked like her daddy. You would give her an 8, E-Love? Wow, that's crazy. I think y'all just like white girls, to be honest with y'all. For whatever reason, I think that there's an obsession of white girls. But I do think that we rate women differently based off of their clout too. I do think that we rate women differently based off of their clout. Honestly, she just looked like a regular white girl to me. She looked like a regular white girl that probably got, a lot of makeup and stuff on. She looked like a regular white girl that got money, that got clout. She just looked normal to me. Regular white girl all day long. It's a bunch of Quentins in the chat. Y'all crazy. Make sure you guys hit a like for the algorithm. Subscribe to the channel and turn on your notifications. Long Way says, can't go to the Jay-Z concert. I'm trying to stay down for 10 years. 80, where's the free fund? The car shows? Car shows, picnics, riding around in the streets. Chick, oh man. I'm about to go put that car up. That car is too much, bro. This car is too much. It's too much, man. Festivals, all of that type of stuff, bro. That's where it's at. When you're trying to stay down and when you're trying to stay dedicated, you got to stay out of the mix. Stay out of the mix. Long Way. Stay out of the mix, long way. For real, for real. Real Life PJ says, appreciate the daily morning motivation. AD can't wait to see you at the Dallas meetup if you still go to Dallas. Yeah, we supposed to go to Dallas in September, right? Supposed to go to Dallas in September? She looks boring as hell. They're all the same. I think that most women are pretty much the same for the most part. To be honest with you, I ain't even thinking about no women right now. I'm kind of just focused 100% on my grind and my hustle. I want to see him too, Adam. I need to see it too. Is there anything else that we want to cover? I got to get out to a property in a little bit. Rent prices. I guess we could cover that. Let's cover that. Flock cameras being cut down. I don't really talk to them.
New York City's Department of Housing Preservation and Development is planning what they're calling an exciting announcement about a new affordable housing project in the East Village. This comes as a new report confirms something many of us have felt. Housing prices just hit another record high in the city. PISLM's Derek Waller is here now to break down the alarming new numbers, and they are alarming.
Yes, stunning new numbers, really, that we just got this weekend, and they are alarming. And I can tell you that the June median rents in Manhattan surged to numbers we've never seen before, and that is pushing up prices in the outer boroughs as well.
I mean, it's pretty expensive. It's definitely a premium to live in New York, but it is a very nice city.
But nice comes at a cost. Alma Ragazzi just moved to Rego Park, Queens from Tampa, Florida for med school.
It's probably about $1,000 more a month. Back in Tampa, it was around $1,300. Here, it's around $2,300.
And that price for a one-bedroom is quite cheap compared to what the same unit's renting for in Manhattan. A report from the real estate firm Corcoran showing median rent prices surging more than 8% year to year to just shy of $5,300 a month. Brooklyn.
Y'all paying $4,300 a month on average in Brooklyn, $5,200 a month in Manhattan. Is that what y'all paying in New York? Y'all paying $4,300 a month in Brooklyn and $52 on average. Y'all paying that in New York?
And also hitting a record at $4,350. Other recent data showing higher prices in parts of the Bronx and Queens too. Average rent prices in Rego Park up 12% year to year for a one-bedroom, according to real estate firm M&S.
And the landlords are not running social welfare programs. It's not like I'm, let's love the landlord, but I mean, they provide a service. They're doing it for a profit.
This is a crisis.
New York City Comptroller Mark Levine telling me it's as simple as supply and demand.
Rents are going up everywhere for one simple reason. We don't have enough housing.
You know, isn't it just so expensive to build a new project in New York City? Is that part of the issue as well? Because you see these new buildings go up and they've got to charge like, $6,000 for a one bedroom.
More than that, man. We are seeing the average cost of housing easy $750,000 per unit, and sometimes more than $1 million per unit.
He's calling on city lawmakers to streamline regulations and make sure office to residential conversions continue.
Listen, it's not that y'all, let me tell y'all what's going on in New York. It's not that y'all don't have enough housing. It's the fact that, I'm going to hold y'all hand. Ain't this what the women say? I'm going to hold your hand when I say this. It's not that y'all don't have enough housing. You got too many effing people in New York. Everything is based off of supply and demand, and you cannot artificially limit the demand or the cost by starting to put more regulations on the table. Y'all got too many people in New York. Real talk. And you know what's so dumb about New Yorkers? New Yorkers, they some of the dumbest people I ever met in my entire life. Yep, I'm going there too. New Yorkers are some of the dumbest people I've ever met in my entire life. You know what's so stupid about New Yorkers is that they take pride in the fact that they are dumb. They take pride and they say, man, it's just New York. That's just the way that it is in New York. Hey, but y'all rats are big and they mutating. That's just a part of the culture. This is a part of the city. Yeah, but the fairy vaders is messing up. Man, it's always been that way. It's a part of the 5 boroughs. The Bronx, Brooklyn, Manhattan, Queens, Staten Island. New Yorkers take pride in the fact that they stupid. They take pride in the fact that they overpay to live in a city that is socialist by a mayor that is not even born here and can't even run for president. Real talk. New Yorkers take pride in the fact that it's stupid. Hey, man, but you live in the projects. I know, man, but that's just a part of New York. I mean, if you can make it here, you can make it anywhere. You know what I'm saying, son? Yeah, but, y'all got to eat at the local bodega. But, that's just a part of the life. The bodega is cool. It's cool. It's not like the 80s. It's not like it's the 80s. It's actually got cleaned up a bit, Nobody goes down to Manhattan. Nope. Unless you're working on Wall Street, nobody goes down to Manhattan. Times Square, that's for tourists. That's for tourists. Have y'all ever seen the people that run for New Year's Eve with the ball drop? And the fact that they have to pee on themselves. And so some of these people actually practice starving and they fast so that they don't feel like they have to pee because they're basically acting like they got a colostomy bag on them. Have y'all seen these people? And then they run, oh my God, I gotta get over there. We gotta run. But Nas is a part of the new project over in Queens. Real talk. Like, New York do things that are super overrated that other people do regularly, but they take pride in the fact that it costs them more money. Did you see how much the Knicks tickets are? $40,000 for a seat. It's crazy. I wouldn't sell it for anything in the world. Nigga, what? What do you mean? You wouldn't sell it for anything in the world? I would. And I know I'm doing better than you, but it's New York. Welcome to New York. In New York. We New York, though. We got Mano. We got Davies. We have, we got Mano. We got Davies. We got Jimmy Jones, Jimmy Jalopoulos. Yeah, man, they can still come back to the block all day long. We got Loaded Lux, Murder Mook. What's up, Mook? No, you're still welcome here. You're still welcome here down there in the hood, Murder Mook. We got Math Hoffa, Jada. We got Jada Kiss. We got Fat Joe, even though he don't live here anymore. But we got Fat Joe. We got Spike Lee. We got Spike. We got Kiss. Mwah. Kiss of Death. We got Styles P. We also got Chic Luciano, Pablo Picasso, and Hot Poppy Picasso, and Cesar can come from like Losa. We got all of these people here, right here in New York, and I wouldn't do anything different than I would do it right here. I mean, this is the Mecca. This is the Mecca. This is Madison Square Garden. This is ground zero of what's going on right here in New York. And I'll be looking at y'all like, you see these fools that's willing to suffer? You see these fools that's willing to suffer over here and be on top of each other. And don't get me wrong, I love cities. I love cities. I love major cities. I like visiting them. I like staying in them. But then it gets to a point to where it's like, okay, wait a minute. It's a lot of y'all here. Have y'all ever been to Times Square? When we do the meetups in New York, I haven't done one in a couple years. But when we do the meetups in New York, you go to Times Square. Yeah, look, we got Krispy Kreme donuts. They're still making them hot in the window. Look at that. The light just came on. Krispy Kreme. You got the big black woman statue. Do they still got the big black woman statue over in New York? I haven't heard about it in a while. People were upset when I actually did a review video of it. Do they have the big black woman statue in Manhattan? This is what Tom Hanks used to come all the time. Yeah, and we played chess in the park. It's crazy. It's crazy because the housing projects is one. No, man, it's pissy in the hallway. It's pissy over here. And I'm like, but it's too many of y'all. It really should only be like 2 to 3 million people over here, but y'all got 8 million people that live in here. Like, man, come on, bro. And for whatever reason, y'all think all of y'all rappers is the center of the universe. And I said, wait a minute, man. Wait, hold on, bro. Like, y'all can't keep living in the past. What's the Patreon live stream tonight? It's going to be at 9 p.m. Eastern. You can't keep living in the past. You got to come up to the future. You can't keep living in the past. But Loaded Lux just dropped that new song, son. I don't understand people that live in New York, bro. Like, why would you pay to suffer?
It would be a terrible mistake if, because of this horrible construction accident, which is serious, which does need to be investigated, but if we let that one construction accident stop this very successful plan to convert vacant office space to housing, it would be a terrible mistake.
And that report from Corcoran also revealing the vacancy rate in Manhattan continues to get tighter. Katie, just 1.49% of all apartments in the borough are actually.
Listen, New York is stupid. And the reason that they're able to get away with doing the stuff that they're doing is because New Yorkers have been convinced, for whatever reason. Q, listen, I'm keeping it 100. New Yorkers have been convinced, for whatever reason, that their city is supposed to be awesome, and it's going to be awesome despite how bad it is and how much y'all have to suffer. And that it's okay for y'all to suffer because y'all from New York. Like, for whatever reason, like, y'all don't look at y'all conditions and be like, man, we got to do something different. No, y'all just keep on trucking along. We got Casey Neistat. His apartment is right there. Look, Casey Neistat. And y'all know better than people over in Los Angeles. Y'all don't know better than the people in Los Angeles. Y'all sit there and y'all talk about the people in LA. Oh my God, I can't believe it. Y'all going out there just for the weather? And then they looking at y'all and saying, y'all going out there just for the buildings? We ain't been the same since Snoop came in and kicked over the buildings. No, man, we're from New York. And then that's the true New Yorkers. That's the white, immigrant New Yorkers. Yeah, because Snoop's. Yeah, I know, we know it. We know it. We got Michael Rappaport over here. And then you got the black New Yorkers. What's up, son? Nah. What's the math, God? No, we here. No, hey, son. Nah, we don't. Your Timbs. Why is your Timbs laced up, son? Nah, what's the math on that? Nah, I'm peeped you through my third eye. When you walked in, I seen your Timbs. I knew you wasn't from here. The minute that you walked in, my third eye said that you wasn't from here, son. You know what I'm saying? Sending up to sing. Rockers, son. Now you go to the dog. You're not a New Yorker if you wasn't at the J concert. You wasn't at the J concert. Blueprint 2. Blueprint. Reasonable Doubt. Like, man, y'all niggas is crazy. Smoking crack. They're willing to suffer. We gonna pay all of the money just to say that we here. We here in New York. Word to mother. Mad, son. It's mad wild out here. Coach Gray says sound like something Shampoo would say. Real Life PJ says NY is not NY of yesteryear. We got too many transplants in NYC now, and they're making it a horrible place. Real NYers know NY is lit, especially in the summer. Everywhere is lit in the summer. Shout out to Quam. Quam in the building. What up, though? I appreciate you, Quam. Thank you for holding me down, big dog. It's Monday. Yeah, we at the Rucker. It's Monday. You know what Mondays is? Monday is an opportunity for us to really run up a bag. All right, we got to focus. We got to get to it. And I am going to set up the live stream within a couple hours. Then I got to get to recording because we got to take care of business. You know what I'm saying? I had a fun time talking about boomers, going off on people, looking at the ghetto-ness over there in St. Louis. And so I always make sure that I give y'all my best. I give you my all. And I try to make sure that you laugh and I talk about everybody so that you can feel included. And we gonna get there. We gonna get there. We ain't going nowhere. We ain't going nowhere. We can't be stopped now. This is bad boy for life. We ain't going nowhere. We ain't going nowhere. We can't be stopped now because it's bad boy for life. Shout out to my dog. What up, though? I appreciate you for the super sticker, Daryl Thomas. Thank you, my friend. Thank you for holding me down, big dog. Thank you. I appreciate you. Thank you, bro. All right. Bag Chasers, Patreon members, let's lock in tonight. And we own it. Listen, I love y'all. I appreciate y'all. Bag Chasers, I'm going to see y'all tonight. Millionaire Morning Show subscribers, I'm going to see y'all in the morning. Peace.